Take two, here we go. Righto, nice to have you covered wherever you're tuning in all around Australia or indeed the world across the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. For the first time in 2023, it's Thursday Night Motorsport across our platforms, and it's a very different looking Thursday Night Motorsport to what we knew and loved in 2022. It's production car racing first up. It's then Porsche Cup action second up, and the eclectic mix of mini sprint races to mini enduros, and then those longer 1 hour affairs as well. Looking forward to it all immensely. Great to have your company. First up from the Red Bull Ring in Austria, where the production car is going to let loose. And then, of course, we're heading to Spa-Francorchamps. So an all-European night ahead of us here. A real European flavour to Thursday Night Motorsport for the first time in 2023. Hello, everyone. I'm Zach Caban. Grant Gills here alongside me as well. We're excited about Thursday Night Motorsport being back in town. Also, Thursday Night Bingo. Get those cards ready to fill out. And here we go. 9:14 local time there in Austria. They're about 8 hours behind Australian Eastern Standard Time at the moment, given the change of clocks at their end hours as well. 9:15 server time on the 19th of April 2023. And we get, of course, a bit of housekeeping out of the road off the top here. We should point out that server time is actually a day ahead of what it's showing on screen there. It's just a tech issue at their end that we can't rectify. 16 kilometre an hour winds, 18 degrees on is the ambient temp, 21 on track, partly cloudy conditions, high humidity 87%. There's the track info for you. A little over 4.3 kilometres. And we're about 2 minutes out from the start of racing here. 4.28 kilometres this circuit, and high altitude of 677 metres on the Grand Prix layout of the Red Bull Ring. Grant Gill, good evening to you. Nice to have you back on board, mate, in a producer capacity. We had you for a couple of Monday nights there last term. Nice to have you back for the season on Thursday Night Motorsport. It's going to be you and I here each and every week for the next 10 weeks, although I am taking week 7 off for reasons that I won't disclose on air. But it is nice to have you back and get the band back together in a matter of speaking. Very different look to Thursday Night Motorsport, as I mentioned in the opener. Porsche's moving from Wednesday to Thursday. That was, contractual obligations there. But production cars, something that we knew and loved back in the early foundations of the club in 2020 in that COVID-riddled year, back in mainstream, back on broadcast. And we're going to start with Nick Goring's favourite.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Zach. It's great to be back again. I'm sure Nick's probably, his ears are burning and he's probably got a little bit of an upset tummy right about this point in time. But I'm not sure if we've got race control with us tonight, but it's not the usual cohort of MX5 lunatics out there, but Brendan Whitaker doing a really good job, and Reece Gosner and Sam Chapman right up there. He's had a good lap going through there. Gary Cousins, Adam Lavis. It's all starting to tighten up in that top little section as everyone tries to get their last lap through.
And speaking of Team Whitaker, I got a memo about 5 minutes before we went on air here that if he couldn't make the grid, a certain CW would grace us with his presence in the commentary booth. We are expecting him any tick of the clock. Speaking of gracing us with their presence, Nick Fodiatis is here for the first time this season. Hello, mate.
Good evening.
Now, this is a lick the stamp and send it approach from you. We believe that you're flying somewhat blind.
Well, I just went out and I got some numbers for you if you want, Zach.
Oh, yes, please.
So
Absolutely.
the tank is 11 litres
11
large.
litres.
11.2.
Jeez.
And we're doing just the littlest bit of over a litre a lap.
Okay, so we're looking at probably a fuel range of 10 laps before we need to splash and dash in that second race, Nick.
Yeah, that's right. We're gridding up now, so I've got to depart. I will talk to you afterwards.
We are.
Go well, mate. Good luck. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Here's the grid for race 1. Sprint format each and every week for the production cars, and different cars in different weeks as well, ladies and gentlemen. More on that as we roll here. Brendan Whitaker and Reece Gosner, the front row. Sam Chapman, Adam Lavis, the second row. There he is, not having to be in this booth, so he's in the sim rig instead. Anthony Adsheed and also Charles Mitchell from the third row. Gary Cousins, Chuck Fung Wong from the fourth row. Robert McGrath and Sean Rees from the fifth. Sixth row, Kevin Henderson and Ben Woods. Hendo would be lost without his Formula V, wouldn't he? Phil King and Greg Padge at the seventh row. Kurt Chapman and Matt Schmidtke, the eighth row. Jamie Budd, Brian Bullock, Wayne Edwards, Philip Howe, Joe Baldwin, Nick Fodiatis, Bevan Moyes, Jake Jackson, Ryan Tegel, Jared Gilbert, and Brendan Soper make up the field. Bevan Moyes, Jake Jackson haven't joined the grid, but Tegel and Gilbert have. Soper has not. So we've got 24 on the grid at the moment. Let's see how many greet the starter. And we should have a start any tick of the clock here. Thursday night motorsport back in town on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing.
Got about 30 seconds by the looks of it, leading up to this, if they start off the 2 minutes as we would expect. So, yeah, we'll have another quick look at the weather now that we're in race server. 36-degree track temperature. So these are little things that will be squealing their little hearts out like a stuck pig, I would think, as they try and wrestle these around the corners. Getting very close to getting going. This is looking good.
Step for a start. We'll have updates from the NRL for you throughout the course of the evening. Thursday night football, Thursday night motorsport. If you've got your sports bar set up, one screen on us, one screen on the footy. Let's go from the Red Bull Ring. Round one of the production car series underway. Race one of the night. 15 minutes the distance here. And the field spans out across the front stretch from left to right as they head down towards turn one. Brendan Whitaker up on the outside to lead them through. Reece Gosner tucks into second spot. Sam Chapman squirrely coming out of the first corner. Trouble at the back. One car's gone round. Didn't see who, but it went exit stage right.
It was one of them pink cars.
And Greg Padgett it was. Dropping down 10 positions in the early stages here. Up to turn 3. So nice clean getaway from Brendan Whitaker.
Oh, nice move on the inside.
Although he's wide out of turn 3.
Gosner.
Gosner back down the inside. This is going to be good.
That was a great move. Normally you take that really tight line, you don't get much drive off the corner, but I think Brendan was a little upset by the big sausage curb on the outside, but this'll be interesting first time down to here.
Indeed it will be. As they make their way down, a little bit of jockeying for position further back in the pack there.
Whitaker's right alongside him again. Nothing in it.
And Brendan up around the outside to take the lead through into turn 6. So that's a clean start from Whitaker. Gosner, Chapman, they've gapped Lavis, Fung Wong, and Sheed and Mitchell and Cousins and Rees and Henderson and McGrath. Look at him.
Fantastic.
Cousins hanging it out to dry almost. He was almost in the dirt.
It's not quite Formula One. In fact, they're nowhere near Formula One, but they're going to give it their best round here, and there'll be smiles on faces all across the field because these cars are a lot of fun to drive. Little bit loose. How about this?
We've got the Renault Clios coming up in this series, so too the TCRs as well. So an eclectic mix of different race cars throughout the course of the 10-week campaign. But we start with an old favourite, the Mazda MX-5s. They were 4 wide down the main straight there a few moments ago as they make their way through turn 1. There's Adam Lavis holding down the best of the rest position at the moment in 4th place. And that pack now, Grant, is 12 deep. It's NASCAR-type stuff, Talladega.
Yeah, well, Sam Chapman doing a fantastic job has been able to hang on to these guys, and these little cars love a bit of draft. There's a lot of windage, a lot of drag through those roll cages, so if you can stick with them, he'll have a bit of an armchair ride to the podium. But Adam Lavis next after that is back nearly 4 seconds.
Gosner's gone back to the lead. Whitaker second at the moment. Here's a replay.
This is Joe Baldwin involved.
At turn 3.
Yeah, he's just not realised the bloke's inside him there, I think, and maybe expected...
Joe got the old lover's tap.
Yeah, maybe he expected a little bit more respect through there. Oh, no. What's happened to Adam?
Adam Lavis. Turn
just
5.
Too nosy. Tail's gone round. That's pretty safe on the inside there. He won't affect too many people, but there'll be some mist. There'll be some mist up in Lismore, and it'll be very, very red.
Oh, yeah. And 13th now is where he sits down 9 places on where he started and where he was before that spin brought him undone. And it's interesting, too, because, unfortunately, similar trait to what we saw from him in Formula V as well. How many times would he been in a position to rack up some good points and bring himself undone?
Yes,
in
indeed.
similar fashion.
Yes,
Down the main straight, Gosner, Whitaker, and Chapman the top three, and Gosner the fastest lap of the race, 1:49.55.
Yeah, the heading off and spinning around. I was having a look at the Formula Fords on Wednesday night, just getting a replay of that, and they're a loose little unit, and they're spinning around all over the place. And tomorrow night the Wings and Slicks are the USF 2000, so plenty of open wheel action as well. But these cars starting to settle down a little bit now with the tyre temperatures coming up. And Sam Chapman, if he's smart, he'll just tuck in there and be more than happy to tow along. Oh, this is still madness. Oh, Adam Lavis. Oh,
Again.
oh dear. No fault of his own that time.
He went right the first time. He went left the second time. So he's greeting different types of grass and go at the moment. There's Gary Cousins trying to get down on the inside of Kevin Henderson. Couldn't get it done. Hendo's up 5 spots already. In fact, big movers include him. Matt Schmidtke up 6. Ryan Tegel up 11. And Jared Gilbert up 8 at the moment. So far, we've got 24 cars still running. Adam Lavis is the last of those. So I guess essentially now, the only way is forward for Lavis, which is probably a good thing in this case. He can only make his way forward.
Yeah. I think it's probably best old mate's not race controlling for us. He'd be having flashbacks. He'd be having heart palpitations. So
the safety car would have already been deployed. Now it's lap 3. Just having a look at the numbers here. They're clocking just under. Question coming in as well from Chris Whitaker about what happened to Anthony Adsheed. Now, he's dropped down the order considerably to 8th place, but we're not sure what the cause of that was. So nice of you to say that you're going to join us in the booth, Whitaker, and then join us on Facebook comment and interaction instead. But good to have you on board all the same. Gosner, Whitaker, Chapman, and Fung Wong the top 4 at the moment. Mitchell gets by Fung Wong on the run down to turn 3. Interesting to note as well. Ad's head. Right. Gotcha. Thank you. Chris Whitaker just pulling me up on pronunciation as we go here. He's on his way home. He's at KFC. Oh, how good. Buy some for me, would you?
Joe Baldwin will be stopping in the pits any time now
Exactly.
to pick up some as well.
Now that someone said KFC, that should be on the bingo card, actually, KFC.
I was just having
Charles
a look.
Mitchell. Oh, hang on, look at this. Charles Mitchell side by side with Chuck Fung Wong and Kevin Anderson pushing him along as well. Have a look at this. Whitaker getting hung out to dry. Chapman.
Jeez.
Chapman forceful on the inside.
Got his big boy pants on
Gosner has
tonight.
got a little bit of breathing space here. 0.6 of a second. About a minute and 3/4 ago, I was about to make my usual ejaculation statement of the evening. And we're looking at around that 1 minute 50 a lap bracket at the moment, Grant. So on those numbers, 6 gets us to 11 minutes, 7, 8. We're in regular time as they get back to the line to start lap 9 at about the 14 and 40-second mark. So this one should be 9 laps, which brings me to a point that Nick Fodiatis made to us before we got on air here, and that is with regards to fuel consumption. These little tanks, they're only about 11 litres, the capacity of what they're carrying at the moment. They reckon that they're burning just on a litre, just a little bit more per lap. So probably a 10-lap stint, which means that we will see splash and dash pit stop action in this
race 2, I would think.
Second sprint race, over 25 minutes in a few moments' time.
Yeah, I was having a look at Ad's head, and he just worked his way back through the field. There's one spot here, one spot there, so just got caught out, I think, which is very easy to do. Get up in here, and it's very tricky indeed. But Sam Chapman with the big boy pants on tonight. He's really going to take it to Brendan Whitaker. There must have been a little bit of practice going on around the Chapman household. Just
down
crazy.
Towards turn 4. Through they go. Hendo the send. Cousins the outside. Sean Rees through the middle. 3 wide. No, Rees tucks back in and follows Hendo through. Cousins is there on the inside. Can he get by Hendo? Can he get by Hendo? No. Hendo around the outside carries the momentum. Gosner, Chapman, Whitaker, Fung Wong at the moment. Gosner 149.44.
Oh,
Good racing this at the moment here as
Very
they
nice.
make their way through one more time. You sport for choice tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You've got battles aplenty, action aplenty right around the racetrack. They come back round onto the main straight. About 60% race distance, 9 minutes gone of a scheduled 15. And we start lap 6. We've got another 3 where that came from next time by the line. Gosner, Chapman, Whitaker 148.75. The fastest number of the race so far. Fung Wong, Mitchell, Henderson, Cousins, Rees, and Ad's Head, and also McGrath arguing over the same
move
piece
up
of real
in
estate.
front.
That's a 7-way fight for 4th. So whatever the Formula V's can dish up, obviously the Mazdas can too. This is good.
That's head right in amongst this mob. So that's a bright candy apple green vehicle that we're seeing there. Very, very close company. And Cousins looking to have a dig on the inside. No, just thinks better
He
of
backed
that.
out of that.
Yeah, he did.
And probably wisely too. Hendo, oh, geez, that was millimetres away from trouble for him. And then Rees up his outside. Mitchell and Fung Wong arguing over the same piece of real estate still. Gosner's doing a good job of controlling this race, I should say, and maintaining his buffer over Chapman and Whitaker. It's half a second. Chapman and Whitaker just can't get on a march that's good enough to reel that in just at this point. Whitaker, the fastest lap of the race thus far, probably wants to find a way by Chapman and get out after Gosner, but time is of the essence here. Time's going to be the enemy in just a few moments. 10.5 gone. They'll get back to the line at around the 11-minute mark. They'll have 3 laps to go.
Oh, there's a
4
touch.
minutes. Oh, no, there's trouble. That's Hendo. Hendo's gone. It was brewing. It was only a matter of time. They couldn't have kept going at that intensity in that closer proximity to one another without something happening, something going wrong, something untoward, and it finally did.
Let's have a look. Might just be here. Kurt Chapman having a go at Kevin.
We're underway, by the way, for Anzac round in the NRL and the AFL this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll, of course, have our own Anzac stuff on Monday night with the Anzac Eve outing for both GT4 and GT3. And if you can get out to an Anzac ceremony, it'll be at a march, a dawn service, or even a midday service on Tuesday, make sure you do so.
Anthony Adstead.
Brilliant.
Oh, that's way
sacred
too
days
wide.
on our calendar.
Oh, no.
Oh,
yeah, you can't expect to come back on from there.
Nah,
you cannot expect
not.
that. That's
and unfortunately, he took an innocent bystander with him in the form of one of the sharp cars.
Robert McGrath, it may have been. All right,
there was no coming back from that far gone.
No, once you're out there, you can't expect to get back
You're
on.
a passenger.
Up front, they're doing just very nicely. It looks like Whitaker's got a little bit of a run. He keeps trying to take this outside line. Chapman blocks off the inside line. A horrible, horrible corner. You want to carry more speed through there, but you can't. Understeers all the way through. It's just dragging you out. But Whitaker takes that inside line. Have I got that right? Yes, he does. Whitaker takes that, and he's realised that Gosner's out to 1.22 seconds, so that's a little bit too far for anyone's liking.
His liking, yeah. You get the feeling these two, unless Gosner makes some sort of uncharacteristic mistake, and he's driven a faultless race thus far, those two are fighting for second unless Whitaker can somehow find a way to reel that back in. Synchronised spinning there, Kurt Chapman and Gary Cousins.
Yeah, having a little dance.
And, yeah... not the sort of dance you want to be having on a racetrack, it's important to note.
Yeah, so these three, then it's 13 seconds back to Chok Fung Wong because these guys have been fighting tooth and nail, and we know what happens when you start doing that. You give the guys in front a 13-second lead. But that's down to
in 7 laps, Grant.
Yeah.
In 7 laps.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
That group's just down to 3 now as some of the others have gone by the wayside. Cousins going to have another look down the inside of Schmidtke here. Where are we? Minute and a half to go, so I'll let you do the calculations on that one.
Yeah, they'll get back. No.
Oh, no.
No, more trouble. Gary Cousins in the wall at 1. drops out of the top 10. Now, is it an invert top 10 here?
I
Did I
believe
get
so.
that memo
I
right?
believe
Invert
so.
top 10. So at the moment, Phil King sits in the invert position.
Oh
Uh-oh.
dear. Yeah, that was Cousins.
And yeah, that was Cousins just unfortunately trying to run an old mate out of room there. And old mate said, no, I'm not having any of that, thanks.
That's exactly
And
right.
Cousins greets the tyre wall. Through into turn 3 they come. He's sitting down in 15th now. Adsad's gone off the road and
Again.
drops down to 16th.
Yep.
So another off-track excursion for him. But at the front, Reece Gosner's driven a beautiful race here. He'll get back to the line and get the white flag this time by Thursday night motorsport on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. Race 1 of 20 in the production car campaign. And it's going the way of Reece Gosner at the moment. But that's the other great fascinating element or ingredient to this championship, Grant. We're going to see who's strong across the Mazda, the TCR, the Renault Clio, and whatever the other one is that they've got lined up here. I think it might be the Mustangs.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, so there's 4 or 5 different cars that are coming our way. There's Barney actually doing his job for a change. Nice to see you, mate.
In the right
Thank
place
you.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Miracles do happen. Jeez. Gosner, Whitaker, Chapman, Fung Wong, Mitchell, Rees, then Bud, Taggart, Schmidtke. We've picked up Brian Bullock down in 19th place at the moment, all over the back of Ben Woods and Anthony Gadshead. Greg Padgett's a little bit further up the road, just going through his shot there. Then, of course, that wall of cars, Chapman, Henderson, King, Howe, McGrath and Cousins, 10th through 15th. There are battles everywhere at this point in time. They are raging. Chuck Fung Wong's 14 and 3/4 seconds off the lead at the moment. Whitaker's got that to within a second now. He's got back to within a second of Gosner. We pick up Kevin Henderson outside the top 10, fighting for a way back into the top 10. Got to get by Kurt Chapman to win. So Kurt Chapman, you wouldn't want to be Kurt at the moment, would you? He's holding on to 10th, which is
Joe and Adam.
the prime position to be in. Poor old Adam. He's had that's 3 strikes you're out for Adam. That's been a shocker for him. Poor old Kurt Chapman is the sitting duck at the moment. He's sitting 10th, which gives him the invert if he gets it. Whitaker's closing in here. Whitaker's a chance. Whitaker is a chance. That was a little bit of a sideways bobble moment for Gosner. Here comes Brendan Whitaker on the march. I was making the point about Chapman. He's the sitting duck. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 right on his heels, right on his tail that want that 10th spot and therefore the invert, but only one of them's going to get it. 5 into 1 doesn't go. 2 into 1 doesn't go either, but Brendan Whitaker's going to try and make a go of it here to the final corner we go. Spin under comes Gosner.
Beautiful.
Whitaker momentarily had the lead. Gosner steals it away. Main straight checkered flag. Gosner's going to get the job done, is he? Across the line we go. You betcha he is. And he did it by 0.09 of a second.
Oh, textbook that
Brilliant.
was. Textbook.
That was brilliant. Trademark 101 at the Red Bull Ring.
This is Wong, Rees and Mitchell, all in close company. Then another 11 seconds back to Jamie Budd, all on his lonesome. No one to play with.
How many times have we seen it, Grant, at that corner in those cars or in Formula V or even in motorcycle racing in the real world? How many times have we seen the up and under at turn 9 and 10?
Yeah,
We've
Brent.
seen a car go for the lead at the second last corner, run it wide, and then be sliced and diced down the inside.
Yeah, Brendan just, he had a great run there and just ran a little bit deep into that corner, got the great move, ran a bit wide, and Gosner, beautifully handled. He just said, oh, no big deal, I'll just slip it down the inside here and take that one back. So, fantastic. I can see we're going to need a sponsor for this series because Last Lap Zach's going to make a comeback, I should think, before the season's out.
I get the feeling you're right, Grant, and I didn't have the camera fired up tonight, but you are right. Last Lap Zach might well and truly be on the bounce back for the first time this year if they keep that sort of caper up. That was fantastic stuff. Well done to all involved. Gosner gets the win. Whitaker, Chapman, Fung Wong, Rees, Mitchell, Bud, Taggart, Schmidtke, Henderson got that 10th. Well done, Hendo. McGrath, King, Padgett, Chapman, Cousins, Woods, Adshead, Bullock, Edwards, Howe, Fodiatis and Lavis, and Joe Baldwin still limping to the line. Jared Gilbert's going to be a retirement in all of that. So, yeah, positions did change hands on that final lap. Hendo found his way into the top 10 and gets the invert as a result.
Aha, how about that? Yeah, just fantastic racing there all across the board. And I was starting to wonder when Gosner just came back to Whittaker so quickly whether there was a little bit of a fuel issue, because Joe was very slow around that turn 9 as well, which is where Adam clipped him. And I wondered if people were just getting a little bit tight on that fuel limit, as sipping 1 litre a lap and 11.2 in the tank, as Zach as I keep doing that. Nick so kindly provided to us.
Yes, a cop and a sputter. That's it.
Yeah, it would be interesting to talk to someone if they pop in, certainly after the fact, whether that was an issue at all or if I'm just saying things that aren't really there. Wouldn't be the first time.
No, exactly right. This is the Gentleman's Sim Racing Club. This is Thursday Night Motorsport for the first time in 2023. It is it's night 4 of our week, but it's only night 2 of broadcast of week 1 of term 2. Season 13 of the club, and it'll be lucky for somebody, 13. GSRC.inc. Don't forget to sink your teeth into that and grab some merch from the merch store while it's still there, while it's available.
If anyone's
it's growing range all the time. There's
Yeah.
more additions being thrown into the collection there of what you can get your hands on as far as GSRC merch is concerned, which is fantastic. You just saw the sponsors rolling across the bottom of the screen there too, folks, without whom none of this happens. So big thanks to them.
Yeah, let's pop that up, because if anyone's wondering how you get into the club and get to play with these boys in these sort of cars and all sorts of others during the course of the week, you can do it all via that Shopify link or the race.tgsrc. something or other. So we'll get that up for you in a minute, and there's all the details. I think it's about $40. Come on in, Chris. Come on in. Welcome. How's the KFC? What you get? Nuggets?
Mate, we've got effectively a 2-piece feed, but we had to sort the girls out at the same time, and a Pepsi Max to wash it down. Watching the sugar. Got to watch the figure while you're eating KFC.
Yeah, good
it's
on
called
you.
a balanced diet, I believe, something along those lines.
You are an idiot. Now,
yes, I am.
On that note, it's nice to have you here, mate. So welcome to the new season. Looking forward to obviously seeing you on track in these things at some point. But the question has to be asked: whilst you were ordering KFC and driving home, which of the kids, which of the family, was it Lisa who got elected as the apprentice to do your typing for you, please?
That was myself typing this time, mate. Had the Z on the back. We're running out of QR this weekend, so that's why I'm late. We're loading everything up, getting it all ready to go to give the old girl the first flogging for the year after my incidences with MA technical department earlier in the year. That I'm not sure I've crossed that one off with you, Zach, but that's probably another one over a couple of brews.
Story time? Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a story time session. So long story short, we've got a new roll cage in the car, and they're going to rush everything through tomorrow morning to get it registered, and we'll be good to go tomorrow. I'm going to leave it to you, Zach. They're back on the grid, big boy.
They certainly are. Stay with me, mate. We'll have a chat to you as this race unfolds. Just to address Brett Bradbury's comment there in the bottom left corner as well.
Don't bait him. Don't bait him.
Yeah, no, definitely bait me. I'll come back to it in a moment. Away we go. Race 2 of the night underway. Kevin Edison, Matt Schmidtke, Ryan Tuggle, Charlie Mitchell, and Jamie Budd lead us down towards the first corner. So an invert top 10 here. Hundo's looking to lead the field, but Schmidtke's got the run to turn 1. Schmidtke will lead him down the hill for the first time. And it was a field of 24 greeting the start of there. No Bevan Moyes, no Jake Jackson, no Brendan Soper. Down the hill we go. Schmidtke, Henderson, Taggle, Mitchell, Fung Wong, Budd, Whittaker, Rees, Chapman, and Gosner, the top 10. And they're 3 wide, and Gosner, I tell you what, he was in a precarious position there, because I thought for a moment that Sean Rees and even Brendan Whittaker, Sam Chapman might have been coming to blows. There it is. Gone. Gosner got through unimpeded, up 4 spots, but there are cars going everywhere. At the top of the shot, Jamie Budd down 20, Sam Chapman down 15, Wayne Edwards down 3, Brendan Whittaker down 8.
Oh, dear.
It's all gone to hell on the opening lap. It always does, invert stop.
Yeah, unlucky for the guys in the top 10. Sam Chapman, I think he might have been one of the early ones to get involved in that. Let's have a look. So what happens?
To be honest,
he just
wide into there was never going to work, but looks like just on the throttle a little bit too early, and very easy, very sketchy things on the cold tyre, these Mazdas. Particularly since they put this sequential box into them. time model update at the same time. It's just made them, super slippery on the first lap. They're good fun, but very easy to come unstuck in the slow speed corners.
Yeah, very
Just going
unfortunate
back-
for Brendan running back down in 15th. He wasn't hit, I don't think, but he had to do a big bunch of slowdown and manoeuvre around the incident. Oh, this is for the lead. Have a look at it.
Fantastic, isn't it? The battle for the lead. Taggle, Fung Wong, Mitchell, Henderson, Schmidtke, Gosner. Gosner, the one to watch after edging out Brendan Whitaker in the opening race to turn one. We go. Look at him slicing and dicing his way down the inside. Then down the inside again to get by Hendo. 3 wide they go. Up the outside of them there was Chuck Fung Wong just saying, I'm going to have a piece of this. And he takes front running in the battle for second at the moment. And they've already lost Ryan Taggle. 1.3 seconds down the road. Brett Bradbury's point is absolutely right. Look at Hendo just marginally hanging on to it there. And they all got lucky. They all got a clean break in that. Kurt Chapman flying down the outside as well. He's come from nowhere, up 9 spots from 14th.
Zach, it's looking
Chapman on a charge here.
It's looking like Talladega the way they're running, the high line and the low line. And, of course, we've got the inter-club battle coming up between the ASES crew and ourselves, May 7th. Going to be a Sunday night, going to be a big night as well.
I believe we've drawn the short straw again on that one, have we, Grant?
Oh, no, they wanted the best in the business, mate. So they went to you and then they had to put up with me.
So Sunday, May 7, we're looking forward to that. That's the week before Mother's Day, of course. Matt Schmidtke there in 7th place at the moment. Kevin Henderson is 6th. Looking forward to story time with Chris Whitaker a little bit later on in the piece as well. Sounds like that's going to have some fruit attached to it. And just going back to Brett Bradbury's point, yes, I will acknowledge the roadwork factor. I'm detesting the idea of going up the Bruce Highway at the start of June, but I'm only doing it for the person that's at the other end. Only because the roadwork coming into the state is no good either at the moment, going through just down past Yatla and in between surface and that too. So anyone that's been travelling north and south in recent times will know exactly what I'm talking about. And just going further back to Bradbury's point, yeah, it's only backward between October and April, mate. At the moment, all is okay. The heart rate's in check and the blood pressure's in check as well, just because 725 actually meant 725 tonight, which was a very nice change of pace. How's your bingo card going, Grant? Are we going to fill it up tonight?
Oh, yeah, I need another texter already.
Okay,
hello,
good.
Dylan Gray. And just Brendan Whitaker on the charge. He's just set the fastest lap of the race, 1:50.01, which is pretty good. Someone just decided to head for the national pits. That's an interesting one.
Ben Woods is gone, off the circuit, gone. Thanks for coming. See you later. Down to 22nd now. Back we go to Ryan Taggle. He's all of a sudden under pressure because Gosner's closed the gap. Fung Wong, Chapman and Henderson. Interesting to see Ryan Taggle there. Of course, we've become familiar with his exploits in Formula V. Now he's giving his experience a little bit of a shake-up and a test here.
Well, he's got to run.
Trying his hand and skill at the Mazda MX-5. Mazda MX-5's just got a little bit more grunt than the old V, I think. So Taggle's in very familiar territory in that regard. But he's under pressure from Gosner. What will Gosner do here? He's going to try and do what Brendan Whitaker unsuccessfully did to him earlier in the night. No, he tucks back in. He'll follow Taggle through. Fung Wong's there as well. They've gapped Chapman, Henderson, Mitchell, Schmidtke and Whitaker. Whitaker 150.01, fastest lap of the race thus far, on the comeback trail after an early race incident.
Dive.
And now he goes Gosner for the lead down the main straight. Gosner to the lead at 1. Nicely done. Gosner with a 149.56, 149.56, fastest number of the night.
out.
Fung Wong edging through on the inside there of Taggle. Gave him a little bit of hip and shoulder and then decided better of it.
Taggle will be close to getting a slowdown there as well with how wide he went. And yeah,
Very
I reckon
true.
that's exactly what's happened with how much ground he's dropped.
Pretty brutal
I reckon
there.
he might have got a bit of assistance. Yeah.
Yeah, he's out to 1.1, 1.2. It's probably a 1.4, 1.5 second slowdown for that, I would think. But sometimes it's just the fact that you lose all your momentum there, and it's a big drag up the hill with no power in these things.
So, CW, now that you've graced us with your presence, and no doubt you're enjoying your KFC as you go here, are we going to see you try and attempt the feats of one M. Dench in GT4 last season, where he joined 2 weeks into the competition, won 7 out of the 8, didn't start the other, and still won the comp?
I'll probably be here next week, mate. So I won't wait 2 weeks to do it. I got to keep one drop round in hand. Dylan, if you jump on the menu log, mate, you'll get delivery like a G. And
in about an hour and a half.
Step from there, mate. That's it, exactly. Or DoorDash, is it? Whichever one it is. I don't know. There's a KFC app, mate. There's a secret menu you can unlock on there as well. Hit me up if you need to know how. But yeah, finger looking good is the answer to the first question, mate. It's bloody delicious, but yeah, the action's on track at the moment, isn't it?
It is.
Nick Fodiatis off the track at the moment, down to 19th, 20th now as Baldwin goes by. Back we go. Gary Cousins under the pump here. He's got Phil King for company. He's trying to fire away by Sean Rees and Adam. There goes Sean Rees.
There's been a bit of that. People just breaking on that entry to that corner a little bit out of sequence with the people behind. That's what happened between Adam and Joe. You know, half the club committee. But let's see if we can get another look at that. But that was very impolite. I wonder if consent was sought.
Sorry to cut you off, but anyone else spotted who's sitting in P22 right now?
Good point. Now, okay, so this is interesting. Kevin Henderson's been in the pit lane for 1:25 on lap 3. So too Brendan Whittaker for 1:08. So what's going on here, please? Uh-oh. I don't like how this is looking.
He'll
down
just
onto
get
the main
caught up in
straight.
Hold your brakes, please. Hold your brakes. That was
Kevin
Hendo.
Henderson.
Oh, no.
Was Hendo.
Race controller as well.
I think we actually need. To have another look at that and see exactly how Hendo ended up there in the first place.
Yep. Well, this is this incident on the corner. Just different braking positions completely. That was
and front left to rear right.
So what are we looking for? We're looking for Hendo, aren't we?
Julian Mookie with the delayed jinx there, as he says. Very good evening to you too, good sir.
Well, clearly...
Julian Mookie posted on club socials earlier in the year during Term 1 about what tracks iRacing are dropping as the year goes on. I know Motorland Aragon was one of them.
That's what happened.
Hendo got assistance as well.
Same thing. Different braking styles in that corner.
Yep. So Hendo got assistance, and then as he was still coming to terms with it, couldn't pull it up, as rolled back and collected poor old Brendan Whittaker. So there you go. All right, well spotted, CW. Nice to have you on board. Gosner, Fung Wong, Tegel, Chapman, Mitchell, and Schmidtke at the moment. So Tegel's been gapped and gone. They have left Tegel in the rearview mirror, have Gosner and Fung Wong. As they make their way down, there's Hendo going a lap down. Gosner and Fung Wong fighting it out for the race win here. Gosner going for the double. Fung Wong trying to get back in the winner's circle.
That might have been a result of not washing off the slowdown, if in fact he got one, enough, and having to jam the brakes on at the very last second and hope like hell that you get it wiped in time. But yeah, that's a big gap between Fung Wong and Tegel. Maybe Tegel had another moment as well. I'll see what I can find on him.
All right, copy that. So Gosner, Fung Wong, Tegel, Chapman, Mitchell, and Schmidtke. If you're enjoying this, we've got 40 minutes of Porsche Cup action coming your way at around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And geez, Tegel, Tegel,
that will
Tegel.
Be a slow down there.
That would have been that would have been the damage done by the slowdown. Yeah, plain and simple. You're not going to make that time back. So Tegel's now all of a sudden under pressure from Chapman, Mitchell, and Schmidtke. But yes, Porsche's coming up 8:30. Spa-Francorchamps, the venue. Now keep an eye out as well, boys. We mentioned it at the top of the call. I reckon around lap 10's that threshold, so we'll see a couple of splashes and dashes here before we get to the end of that 25-minute marker. And on that note,
Tegel's still going way too wide. That'll be another slowdown, as will old mate just behind as well.
6 laps to 11 minutes, so that's 12 to 22. 23, 4, 5, so 14 laps with the pit stop coming your way in this race. Don't quote me on that. My maths isn't a strong point, but I'm thinking that we'll get to 14 laps.
Gosner pinches fastest lap. I'm just not sure if I should do this. I like the bloke, but he's going all right. All right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he is going okay. He's up in 7th, up 14 spots already. Is Adam Lavis.
Oh, you're not supposed to say his name. You don't say it three times.
Sorry, he who shall remain named.
Yeah, he who will give it half a chance of not getting run off the road with my jinx.
Reece Gosner, fastest lap of the race, 1:48.63. CW, you remember the early days of the club and production car shake up on a Friday night where we didn't know which car we were going to have on any given week. We're sort of harking back to the roots with this concept at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm loving the concept. I'm pretty disappointed I'm not on track at the moment, to be honest. Did everything I could to get through all the work today and get everything loaded up and all the rest, but it just wasn't to be. But yeah, back to the original roots of the club. I don't recall if I ever actually ran any of those rounds in that series back then, because obviously we were sort of fairly heavily engrossed in the stock cars, and being such a dog of a thing to drive they were, bloody good fun, just an absolute pig. So try to go from a car that turns to that bloody thing. Recovering. So, but no, it's a cool concept, rolling through a couple of different marks throughout the season. Obviously, TCR next week. Myself and Brendan will be keen for that one, and Sam as well. Obviously, bit of TCR action for him, and he's definitely improved, leaps and bounds the last couple of seasons. So looking forward to that, and I'm quite privy to the old Mustang as well, as much of a bucket of bolts the thing is. But I don't mind driving that old girl. So yeah, looking forward to getting into it and getting out there and having a bit of a play with the boys.
Pit lane activity with Nick Fodiatis, Joe Baldwin and Greg Padgett all diving in now too, boys. So pit lane activity underway.
There you go.
As these guys splash and dash. Well, that's essentially half race distance for them. 7 and 7. So 7 and 7 makes 14, which is the guesstimate on my part of how far we'll run in this race should it stay green all the way. Gosner at 7.5 laps leads the thing over Fung Wong and Chapman. Tegel, Mitchell and Schmidtke are there. We've picked up Wayne Edwards down in 14th, 15th. Adshead down, getting down on his inside. Can't get it done. They've got Jamie Budd at the front of the train there for company too. So a lot of action, lot to be excited about in this race in the early stages here. Gosner, Fung Wong, Chapman, the top three, and that is Adam Lavis in 12th, getting muscled out by Philip Howe.
I knew I shouldn't have shown him. He was in 7th.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry, Adam.
Yeah, our bad.
Yeah. We would have been all right if you hadn't said his name.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not buying that at all.
My excuse.
Anyway, to avoid being thrown under the bus, I'll take it. Now, 14 and 3/4 minutes gone. What else are you looking forward to this season, CW? Because obviously we'll talk about the production sports car and the real world stuff in a few moments, because that's coming up this weekend out there at what is now a very pleasant, I'm led to believe, Queensland Raceway. Now that certain people have slithered out the door. But what about the sim racing, mate?
Mate, this is the first time I've sat in the rig since we finished. I lie. Sorry, I did a practice session in Formula Ford last week. It's the first time I've sat in the rig since the end of last season. So, I haven't had much time on my side with
much.
The real world stuff getting in the way and personal life getting in the way. But we'll get back into it. But I think this is where we'll be at. I was hoping it was going to be on a Wednesday night. Wednesday night does work better for me, but that is what it is with the supercar commitments, obviously. But I was really hoping to be able to click with the Formula Ford and jump in that and have a dice. But I think I need a bit more bum in seat time before we go playing in that. But for those playing at home, Anthony Adsed's actually my brother-in-law. He picked up his first podium last night in race 2. So. Which is a bloody good effort. He was over the moon. We were trying to stringline the Z, and it was being an absolute pain in the butt. And he called, and I've gone, oh, crap, I forgot to watch his race. And, he was over the moon. So, bloody good job. Good effort there. But, needs to pull his finger out the Mazdas and learn how to drive these things pretty quick.
Nice to have a new member in the club as well on that note. Now, Mitchell in 4th place, holding off Tegel and Schmidtke, keeping them at bay.
Oh, what's happening?
Adam Light. Hang on. What's going on here?
That's irregular.
Come on, Adam. What
That's
are you doing?
irregular.
I'm wondering if
50.3
that's
pit stop.
Wonder if that was a speeding and pit scenario. I know you can, if you jump on the brakes really quick, even if you go over the speed, it can save your butt sometimes when you do that. So I'm wondering if he
must
have
have
had a little bit of a
Chapman in the
brain
pit
fart.
lane now as well.
Must have had an unsafe entry or something, because he had a 50 seconds pit stop. So I'll see if I can find something there.
Yep. And that just is the icing on the turd for Adam Lavis' opening round exploits in the 19X5s. Unfortunately, we'll just rub this one out, shall we? Drop round looking likely for Adam Lavis in this instance. Let's have a look at it here. No, he's okay in that regard. It might just be something here.
Maybe.
Thinking about stopping. Oh, we'll never see it.
No, we'll never see it.
He pulled up in time.
Not sure what's going on there. Chapman, Gilbert, Howe in the pit lane at the moment. Top 10 yet to stop. It's Gosner, Fang Wong, Tegel, Mitchell, Schmidtke, Cousins, King, Bullock, Adshead, and Bud. The top 10 at the moment. Bud's just got by Adshead. Actually, that's what you're watching on screen now on the inside going up into turn 3. It's very exciting what we've got to offer you this season, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted that we're back on a Thursday night. I did say to the club at the start of the season, look, if you need me 2 nights a week, let it be Mondays and Thursdays. Happy to keep Mondays. Thursday works a little bit better because it means I can have Tuesday and Wednesday off. Thursday doesn't work as well as it used to because they're back to showing triple episodes of Home and Away on a Thursday night, but that's okay. The compromise there, the consolation prize there is that I can fast forward through half an hour of ads through a 90-minute recording. So at the end of this broadcast, now so I'm just going through and trying to tick off as many of those bingo markers that I can before we get to the Porsches, boys. Gosner, Fang Wong, Mitchell, Tegel, Schmidtke, Cousins. Tegel, Schmidtke, Cousins all in the pit lane right now with Fang Wong. So 4 of them have dived in on this occasion.
Looks like
King and Bullock make it 6.
Yep, looks like
make it 6.
That's how far you can go. Although Reece Gosner's done a great job out in front. He's continuing on once again. So I wondered if Adam was dropping back because he was fuel saving, but Adam Lavis, but I don't think that was the case. I think a little bit of early season jitters for a lot of these drivers.
And it's one of those things around here as well. Like if you've got raw pace, run the tank empty out in front. There's no point trying to put yourself back in traffic. Reece has run the correct strategy here, in my opinion. But same with the boys behind him there. The 3-4 of them going into the pit all at once. Brilliant idea. Obviously saved a bit of juice in the toe for the first half of the race, but following the rest of the guys in there and making sure you maintain the toe. And may then obviously give them the ability to get the undercut going on Reece. But his raw pace at the moment, I think, without putting the commentator's curse on him too early or counting the chickens before they hatch, I think he's sitting fairly pretty with the times he's doing out.
Look out!
3 wide on the
Chapman, nice run through there. They played like grown-ups.
Nicely, went deep.
Yeah, they played like grown-ups through there. That's very wide. Nice work, boys. That's 5, 6, and 7. Everyone but the front 2 to pit. Everyone else has pitted.
Just an asterisk next to grown-ups as well. That's excluding politicians because they actually play worse than children. So there's Gary Cousins. Here is Reece Gosner into pit lane. First place. The leader pits from the lead and will top up and make his merry way home for the final 3 laps of the race here.
Was it just me, or was he going very, very slow on the pit entry there?
Cautious.
Cautious
or out of gas, I wonder.
One or the other. I don't blame him for being a little bit cautious, but I think you might have a point. He might have been just a little bit fine on the old juice front.
Yeah, he may not have done a practice entry as well. The 86s that Reece ran with us last season, and I think the season before as well. Obviously we didn't have pit stops, so may have caught him by surprise.
Back out.
He's coughing.
Big slide.
He's coughing.
Yeah, look at that.
That was into the pits. That was into the pits. Yeah, you guys can't hear it.
Has not hurt him, though. Has not hurt him. He's out in the lead by 2.3 seconds over Chuck Fung Wong.
He managed to build the gap, just that raw pace again. He's yeah, it's hard to beat that when you've got someone who's a good second lap or half second lap clear of the rest of the field, and they can do it in clean air, and everyone else needs the toe to do the same time. It's hard to beat people like that.
It is. So if we have a look at the times there, his best is the best of the field, the 48.625, and then Wong is a 49.408. So that's 0.8 between them. And then Chapman at a 49.802. So you're absolutely right there, Chris. He's got a bucket load of time tucked away under the bonnet of that little beast. So,
someone should take up the front running and have a chat into the microphone here, so I may as well.
Mate, I was trying to finish off my last bit of chicken, mate. Come on,
Of course you were. Of course you were. I haven't finished my dinner yet.
Oh, mate, multitasking. Come on, Zach.
Mate, trust me, multitasking. I'm on the phone, I'm on the computer, I'm on the television. It's all
and
happening.
You're off the Richter scale. Look at him go. He's got it all going on. 18 minutes played, 0-0 Panthers Rabbitohs. There's a around the grounds update for you Thursday night NRL on the Wide World of Sports. We're on the platforms of the GSRC, bringing you race 2 of round 1 of the production car series. Reece Gosner's back on pit road. Reece Gosner's back on pit road. The race 1 winner's night is done. He won't be winning this one. Chuck Fung Wong goes to the lead. Reece Gosner is back in the lane with 2 laps to go, and that mighty run has come undone. I'm thinking speeding on pit exit's the only thing that really makes sense. He's coughing on the way into the pit, unless he was speeding on the way into the pit because it was coughing, and he's tried to keep the momentum up. It might have had a bit of a jump. I guess we'll find out at the end of the race. But very, very unlucky. But one man's one man's trash, another man's treasure.
Exactly. One man's milk is another one's lemonade. All that.
I've got another one, but I can't say it in this time slot.
Probably best.
No, that's a fair point. We're about an hour and a quarter away from safety barriers. Minute and a half to go,
boys. Minute and a half to go.
So, next time by the line, Chuck Fung Wong will greet the last lap board. So, that'll be lap 14. So, even though I'll go to my grave saying that maths isn't a strong point, and my neurosurgeon never thought it would be.
And Brendan Hobson doesn't like the track, and he probably won't do very well. Yeah, we know.
He's taught me well. There's no doubt about that.
Fibber.
Chapman, Tagle, and Cousins. Have a look at this. A 3-way fight for second, boys. Here we go. It might not be the fight for the top step of the podium, but 2 of these guys are going to find their way onto the podium. One's going to miss out. A lap and a quarter to go at the Red Bull Ring. Chapman, Tagle, Cousins. Chapman up 6 spots. Tagle up none. He's stuck where he started at the moment. Here's the white flag for Chuck Fung Wong. 12 seconds to the good. Just keep the camera there for a moment. They'll come into view eventually. Tagle and Cousins all over the back of Chapman, and Cousins is up 11 spots thus far. There they are. Here they come down the main straight. If you're Chapman, you're the sitting duck. Tagle and Cousins have all the work to do, but they've got the momentum. And look who's in the distance there, Matt Schmidtke, hoping that these guys get firmly stuck into it, and the seas might part Moses style for him through turn 1. Sun's starting to set in the Austrian Styrian Hills. Gary Cousins, we ride on board with him. Tagle and Chapman are there as well. The run down to turn 3. Clock has expired. We're on the run home. Cousins to the outside of Tagle. Tagle holds on for now. Great driving from both men. Little bit of a touch on the exit. Cousins just making sure that Tagle's aware of his presence, and he well and truly is. Down they go. Fung Wong's going to get the job done. 12 and a half seconds to the good, but we still don't know how this is going to play out the battle for second. Cousins to the inside on the exit of 4. Have a look at Chapman. Just sitting pretty at the moment, under no sort of pressure from Tagle and Cousins. Schmidtke not making any sort of inroads either. 3, 4 corners to go. Chapman a little bit wide on the exit. Does that open the door for Tagle? No, it doesn't. And Tagle doesn't open the door for Cousins either. Tagle's right there. Cousins is right there. Who dives where? We know someone's going to have a crack. We just don't know when. Now, Teggle's going to defend the inside as they come up to the penultimate corner. Teggle's going to dive actually down the inside of Chapman.
He's
Have a
done
look
that
at
before. Oh, no, there's a touch.
Chapman gets all by Cousins as well. Chapman was second for 90% of that final lap, and he's going to miss out on the podium. Taggle to second, Cousins to third. Schmidtke pips him at the post as well. Thanks for coming, and you get hung out to dry.
That looked like a cough over the line or just before the line for
It
yeah. But I tell you what, with Cousins just channeling his inner Treno there, just throwing the doors out there, that was epic.
I know Trent Lavis will be tuning in at some point. That's fantastic. It didn't take long.
Sorry,
wow.
Chuck. We would
What
have
about
loved to would have loved to see Wong come across the line, but we could not leave that battle there. So apologies there. That
well
was
done
brilliant.
to Fang Wong. 12.9 seconds to the good boys. 12.9. So 2 phenomenal blowout victories at the top end of town. First place there in the 2 production car races tonight. But by gee, well worth the price of admission. If you haven't enjoyed that, go and check your pulse. We've got a few of these guys joining us now to have a chat. Fang Wong the winner. Tegel, Cousins, Schmidtke. Chapman, what the hell? Second with 2 corners to go and ends up 5th. But as we said, it was 4th before the coffin splatter. Well observed, Chris Whitaker. While Zach Caban was just channeling his inner Darrell Eastlake. And yesterday, of course, marked 5 years since we said farewell to the great man. Charles Mitchell was 6th. Brian Bullock, Jamie Budd, Jared Gilbert, and Joe Baldwin up 13 spots. So Gilbert up 15, Baldwin up 13. How about that? Padgett, Woods, King, Edwards, Howe, Whitaker. Not a night to remember for Brendan. Kurt Chapman, Adam Lavis, Nick Fodiatis, and Reece Gosner made up the top 20. It was a minute 2.30, the stationary time of that second stop. Then Ads head in 21st from 0 to 0 there as well.
I think
Henderson,
that was a
Rees, and McGrath failed to finish.
I think that was a slowdown for Chapman for that last final sequence of corners. He ran very, very wide.
Well, he's here. He can confirm or deny it for us. Hello, Sam Chapman.
Hello. No, it wasn't a slowdown. It was just completely out of fuel.
No.
I read my fuel gauge wrong on JRT. I thought, oh yeah, I've got 0.4 of a lap, and a couple of laps to go. I was doing the math. I was like, no, I'm down 0.4 of a lap. Okay.
Oh no.
Spent the last lap sort of cruising around, trying to keep Ryan in tow, and then we coughed, we spluttered, got over the line, but also managed to get 17 incident points in the process.
Oh, no.
So black flag. I'll probably be about 20th after that, I think.
15th. 15th by the looks of it.
You didn't have any luck there.
When it rains, it pours. In fact, Grant, you had the results on screen there. Let's get them back up. Yeah, down to 15th spot.
Tragic.
So you lose 2 spots off the final 2 corners. You lose 1 in the run to the line, coughing and spluttering, and then you lose 10 for incident points. Geez, when it rains, it pours.
Well, too true. I mean, definitely this race. I think I was knocked off twice or 3 times. The first, I can't remember what happened in the first. Oh, yeah, no, that's right. I ran wide on the second corner to try and avoid crashes, and someone spat and went off the track and hit me while I was off track. So that sort of put my car in a bad state of order. We pitted as soon as I could get into the fuel window, and then made my way back up and screwed it up again. I was on about 14 incident points for most of the race, though, and then forgot about it in the final lap.
Just so that everybody's
There's a couple
on the
right
same
there.
page
That's about
here.
12.
Yeah.
12 on the first top of the hill.
and unfortunately, once you start with 12 that early in the piece, you're just teetering on eggshells for the rest of the caper. But we've got we'll get to Nick Fodiatis very shortly because he's just sent me a message requesting to go last, so that's fine. He can have the floor at the end here. Just so that everybody's aware, the Porsches start in 21 minutes, so we've got about 15 here to wrap things up, and we'll probably need that as well based on what we've just seen here. Hey, Chappo, obviously it didn't end so well. It didn't end terribly well there, obviously going 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 15th, but the car looked good. it looks like you found a comfy fit here with the Mazda MX-5s. This looks like it's going to be one hell of a championship. Not just because of the fact that we get to dabble in the MX-5s a couple of times, but we get to go and play some other cars as well on some really cool tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it. I think my time in the social series back in the day in the MX-5 probably helped me get some pace in these. So we'll see what it's like for the rest of the cars throughout the season.
Now, there's the calendar. We will have the cars of choice for the respective weeks added to this calendar for next week. Off to the Hockenheim Ring next, then to Road America, then on to the Rudskogen Motor Centre in Norway, then to Magny Core, then to Motorsport, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, then on to Interlagos. That will be good fun. Phillip Island, Winton, and Sandown to finish us off. So we're doing. I don't know how Victoria managed to eke out the final 3 rounds of the calendar, but well done to them. There's obviously some money passing under the table there.
I'll add the cars to that graphic as we go into next week. But Hockenheim is TCR, so that's next week. Then we've got the Mustang FR500S at Road America.
That'll be good.
Followed by the Clio Cup at Rudskogen, a little track with a little car. Then we go Toyota GR86 at Circuit de Neves Magny Core.
Now, that'll be good too.
Mazda MX-5 at Motorsports. So they'll get a little bit light over some of those rise and falls.
Yes.
TCR at Interlagos. That'll be
Nice.
fun. Mustangs at Phillip Island.
Yep.
Clio at Winton Motor
Winton,
Raceway. And,
probably appropriate.
Yes, indeed. And
Clio for the clothesline.
and
That's
the
good.
86 at Sandown. So we'll add
So
that
a good
as we
mix.
go forward.
A good mix of cars and good mix of tracks as well. What's tickling your fancy there, Sam?
Wow, what's tickling my fancy? I think I started to get like the TCRs last season. I love the 86s, so the French circuit and Sandown are going to be a lot of fun. I haven't tried the Clio yet. I haven't bought it, so I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great season.
I thought we were going to miss the Formula Vs, Grant, but I tell you what, if the production car boys can bring that sort of entertainment each and every week, maybe not necessarily in each of the cars, but if they can bring that sort of entertainment to a Thursday night, they're welcome to stick around. That was good stuff. Hey, Sam, unlucky on the result there, mate, but well done on the pace that you brought to the table and the show that you delivered. You kept us very much on the edge of our seat and thoroughly entertained right throughout the course of the night, mate. Rest up, enjoy what's to come, and we look forward to seeing you go around next week in the TCR at Hockenheim.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. It's good to have a broadcast back on Thursday again.
Agreed?
Yeah, all right.
great to
I
be
was
back.
away for more than half the season, so I thought I'd give it a break.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, it's who you know, not what you know, and he's very lucky that he's a well-connected operator as Grant Gill, because I didn't get my long service leave request approved. He did, I didn't. So,
There was no approval, Zach. I just took it.
Let's chat about that. All right, let's straighten up here and press on. Well done, Sam. Thank you, mate. Hey, right, Tegel, that was like fun.
Yeah, I didn't even set a qualifying at all this race. I absolutely ballsed it up and went off track every single qualifying lap. So I started in 25th in the sprint race, and I told myself just keep the nose clean, and then I might be at the top 10, and might be getting. If I couldn't even think if there was an inverted top 10, and then lo and behold there was, and
Yes.
then I was like, okay, well now it's a bit easier to avoid the carnage. I just stay in the draft and see how I go.
Oh dear. And it's hard to avoid moving targets, as Brendan Whitaker found out earlier in the piece as well. But
Yeah, I think all my
so that-
practice in the Formula V's actually. That's my normal
yes.
race. I can only really race on Thursday, so the Formula
well,
V's used to be my
but
thing, and I
this
got
is the
used to
point.
dodging stuff.
We did mention that during the call, that the Mazda MX-5s and the Formula V's, there's only a little bit more power in the Mazda MX-5s, so that would have made you feel right at home to begin with. And two, it was nice to be able to say that you're applying the same sort of trade that you bring to the table in Formula V and adopting straight into the Mazdas very nicely. It'll be interesting to see how you go with a little bit more grunt under the bonnet with some of those other cars we've got over the next few weeks.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I had a crack at the Ford Mustangs when we had those a little while ago, and I actually did all right in them as well. So it'll be really interesting. I love that there's just a mixture of cars each week to really find out, like, people are going to have different skill levels in different cars, so it'll be fun to see who's actually going to be performing the most. Like Chok Fung Wong, like in first place, absolutely smashing it. He was like 15 seconds ahead of me. I've got no hope of catching him. When there was in other races, I was always beating him. So it can be sort of anyone's game, which is really cool.
And
It's
I'll
not a
bring in,
game
Chris
before Chris
Whitaker.
Whitaker says it.
No,
It's
no,
not a
that's right.
game.
I'll bring in-
This is real life. What I'm saying is the game of real life.
There you
can
go.
get to anyone.
Nice recovery.
It's the dominoes and the poker along the way. Chris Whitaker, just to go off what Ryan was saying, I think that's one of the more fascinating elements of it as well. Just seeing who can adapt, who can be so versatile across the course of 10 weeks and prevail victorious as a result.
100%, mate. It's the disparity between the cars as well. You know, a couple of front-wheel drive cars there, turbo front-wheel drive car. I don't own the other thing, so, we'll jump in that probably 3 minutes before qualifying and see what you actually do to drive it. But, yeah, I mean, the MX-5s, I love the MX-5s. TCR, obviously, we've had a bit of a success there. So,
Just a bit.
a little bit, I didn't run last season, but...
Two championships, wasn't it, Whitaker?
Yeah, 2 championships with 3 championships through the Whitakers now. So I think we got back to back again teams championships with TCR. So
Yeah, all right. It's not about you, Chris.
We seem to know what we're doing in those things. So it'll be game on between myself and Brendan, that's for sure, or sim on between the two of us. But I mean, I'm pretty sure Ryan's had a bit of a play in the TCR there. I'm sure I've seen him along there, and obviously, as I said in the broadcast, Sam's been super quick in the TCRs as well. So. I just hope that we can keep the full 25 car field when we've got the TCRs there, or if these Clios turn out to be a hunk of junk or anything like that, that everyone just sticks in it, and we're all in the same boat together. If it's a heap of crap this week, it's only 1 week, so deal with it. Jump in there, do your race, and you get a different car next week and don't have to worry about the dodgy one for another 4 or 5 weeks. So
and that's right. We'll have some of those guys that come and go because the car suits them, and then we'll have our mainstays that'll be here each and every week, no matter the car, no matter the circuit. And looking forward to the challenge that goes with that. Stay with me, CW. Coming back to you in just a moment. Jared Gilbert's dropped by for a chat here. Nice recovery in the second race, mate. Up 15 spots after I don't think you made it to the finish in race 1, did you? What happened?
Negative. So what happened was I got into a bit of a tangle lap 1, and it sort of gave me the meatball. So I felt the car, see what it was like. Felt okay, but the game didn't think it was okay, and it disqualified me.
It's not a game.
They'll get it by the end.
The sim didn't think it was very nice of me to finish, so I got DQ'd, unfortunately.
Thanks to Ryan Taggart, who saw his opportunity to leave and has already done so. We'll come back to him a little bit later on, and I think in saying that as well, Sam Chapman's seen his opportunity to depart. Jared, how do you find the Mazda MX-5, and how are you feeling about some of those other cars that are coming up?
Oh, I love driving the MX-5. Out of all those cars, MX-5 is the one I've driven the most. For the other drivers, I'm just hoping I can continue to, just improve on my own driving. This is only my second series with GSRC.
Welcome.
So I think I'm doing not too bad.
Yeah, the MX-5's next up at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, the old Motorsport. So that'll be a bit of fun.
I had fun on the 86s there, so bring it on.
Indeed.
What else are you dabbling in throughout the course of the season, mate? What other categories across the club races are you eyeing off?
I am going to eye off the Porsche Cup. So,
straight into the Porsches at Spa right now, eh?
Yes, buddy.
Well, we'll let you
Very
go
nice
because that's not far away right now.
No, it's about 10 minutes away, and I've got to sneak in a break here before we go. So thank you, mate. Well done. Matt Schmidtke. So it was 6th to 4th in that second race, which means you finished 5th in the first race. So 2 top 5 finishes, not a bad night out.
I think I was actually 9th in the first one because I started second, but yeah, a lot better than I was expecting.
Right,
based on
got
my
you.
pace.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at pluses and minuses everywhere, mate. You're right. So 9th in the first one and 4th in the second one. So 2 top 10 finishes. Let me correct myself as we go here. Told you my maths wasn't a strong point. But all in all, not a bad night out. You've got points, you got to the finish, you kept your nose clean.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I almost didn't a couple of times, but yeah, it was a lot better because I think I qualified 16th or something, and in practice I was like 22nd or something. So I'm like, just keep it clean. And yeah, I've made some places in that first race just from other people's mistakes. I made a bit of one myself, but not too bad. I reckon the last 3 laps, two lots of 2 people crashed out in front of me. So I'm like, I'll take them spots. Thank you very much.
They're the best
And,
ones, the free ones.
And what about the fight there in the closing stages? You must have been pinching yourself. You were looking at fifth. You had no hope in hell of catching Tegel, Cousins, and Schmidtke, and all of us, Chapman rather, and all of a sudden Chapman's coughing and spluttering, and away you go.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, yep, I'll take that. Yeah, just I come around the last corner, I'm like, he's going slow. I'll take that.
Very nicely done. And how are you feeling about the rest of the season, mate? Are there any particular cars there that you're looking at and thinking, oh, thanks, but no thanks?
No, the Mustang. I'm not. I've never actually driven that car before. I didn't think anybody did, to be honest. But it's free, so I'll probably give it a crack and see what happens.
They're good fun, and there's more gears in them than you imagine. I was driving them for quite a while and didn't realise there was a fourth and maybe even a fifth in it because they just rev right out. But they are good fun, big lumbering beasts.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you caught my stuff up on the last corner of the first lap of the second race. That's where it nearly went all upside down for me.
All right, mate. Very nicely done. Good to catch up with you as per usual. We've got to fly here because we've got the Porsche standing by. But well done on the results tonight. 2 top 10 finishes, as we say, and we wish you the best for the rest of the season.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, mate. I'll catch you next time.
There he is. Trucker Joe's here, and so too, I'm hoping, is Nick Photiadis as well.
I'm going to let you chaps talk over a graphic because I'm going to jump out of this. So we'll continue the chat. This will bring us back. Just testing for audio, folks. Just testing for audio.
Yeah, that worked. Because I got it on at my end.
Good.
Yeah, Facebook's good. We're back with you, ladies and gentlemen, and apologies for that. We had a tech issue at our director's end. They're in Grant Gill, and, well, probably a good thing we were off air as well, some of the topics we were broaching, but that's Thursday Night Motorsport for you. It's always a little bit fruity in the booth. Nice to have you on board. We're gearing up for the start of the Porsches very shortly. 2.5 minutes left in their qualifying session. It's a 40-minute race, this one. One M. Dench is finding himself on pole position at the moment ahead of Lazarus Wright. Kai Ardley's back. Brenton Hobson's back. Geez, they're all coming out from under the woodwork tonight to have a crack in the Porsches at Spa, and we're looking forward to that immensely. Just want to quickly go back and cover off. We were talking to Joe Ball, but it's nice to have him back. We didn't get a chance to have a chat to Mr. Nick Fodiatis. Mate, nice to have you on board. A couple brought undone by the fuel numbers, but unfortunately as well, a fair bit of ping pong going on out there, and a fair bit of bump and draft and bump and grind, and that's just Mazda MX-5s for you.
Sorry, is that for me or Joe?
That's for
No,
you.
it's for you.
Oh, right. Oh, okay, sorry. Yes, yeah, look, it's MX-5 racing. It's slower single make racing, and tends to produce that kind of racing. But look, I come away with a big smile on my face. Yeah, I didn't have the best results. I can race better than that. There were a couple of people that maybe took advantage of the fact that it is broadcast and there was no race control. But look, overall, I had some fun. I had my teammates in there having a bit of a laugh, and Gary got a podium at the end there too, so I'm very proud of that.
Absolutely, he did well, fending off through the last corner on Sam Chapman there, a little bump and rub as well. Checkered flag's about to be out in a minute on this qualifying session. Chris Whittaker's still in the room, but he's somewhat departed. He's on mute at the moment, so we can't get his final comments on any of that. But well done to Chuck Fung Wong on an emphatic win in that second race. That was
Yeah, a lot of new names to me in the series as well.
Also should point out, Blackout Electrical Solutions, just one of the many great sponsors supporting the GSRC throughout the course of the season. Blackout Electrical Solutions, the naming rights sponsor of the Porsche Cup, Waste Options, Login Systems, West Orange Motors, Astute Finance, Fisher & Doyle Lawyers, and also Flash, our other sponsors throughout the course of the season. It is nice to have you back on a Thursday night, ladies and gentlemen. It is nice to be back in the booth. We've got Matty Dench getting set to lead this field away in a 40-minute outing for the Blackout Electrical Solutions Porsche Cup opener from the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. A 40-minute race standing by here, which is finish time compared to what we had on Monday night for those of you tuning in around Australia. We've got some GT3 Endurance Championship racing coming up again in 10 days' time at the end of the month, round 3 of that championship. There it is, 6 hours from the Red Bull Ring. Geez, that's getting a run at the moment, isn't it? It's almost like Road America and Bathurst of old. It's getting a real good run. Then on to Road Atlanta on the weekend of the Indy 500 and the Monaco Grand Prix, and then on to Mount Panorama for the 8 hours there at the end of June. There it is. That's how it stands at the moment in the GT3 Endurance Championship. Matty Dench, 2:18.57 is the fastest time of the night so far in Porsche Cup qualifying. Nick, you were here when we laid the foundations of the club way back when. We're into season 13, but we're going back to our roots with this multi-car, production car format that we've got over the course of the next 10 weeks, and I'm a fan.
Yeah, we'll see how it pans out. It is still multi-cars, but single make on each night, and they are the mates that I'm racing actually officials with, is the SimLab Car Challenge, which has all those same exact cars, which is always challenging.
And a good mix of circuits as well.
Hey, you keep me away from that track in Florida that's really bumpy, I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly right. I think, hang on, I did see Sebring when I was writing down my notes for this season, but I think it was for the Porsches, so I think you're
And also, what is it? As much as the Nürburgring Grand Prix is on my birthday, I probably won't be here for that one either.
Copy that. No, of course, May 18. It's only a hop, skip, and a jump away. Then on to Suzuka after that as well. So there are some really good tracks coming up on a Thursday night. Circuit de la South, I'm looking forward to in a couple of weeks' time as well. Joe, just quickly, before we let you two hop, skip and jump, update on how things are going with the Mountain Men, please. And apologies, we missed half of your chat going out on air tonight, but it was lovely to chat to you all the same.
No, absolutely. It's always good having a chat with you guys. The Mountain Men series has been a little bit different. We had the AE86 or the GR86 the last round, and I think we was like quite 28 cars, I think, and magic race. We had a good bunch of guys in there, a lot of new faces again. There's actually quite a lot of new faces in the club at the moment, which is great to see. So we're in a bit of a growth spurt at the moment, trying to put stuff on that everybody wants to get involved with, and I think this what we're doing now with the production car will see a good spread of skill different weeks coming to the fore. But no, the Mountain Men series, we've got some faster cars coming up over the next few weeks, and it should be good. So yeah, definitely enjoying it.
The Nissan this week, Joe, the GP, it's a whole alphabet. It's the GTP ZXT. You're being inclusive of every letter in the alphabet, just about.
Just got to call it the jet car. I think it's the flying thong, that one. So, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. It's fast, it's brutal, and it bites when you get it wrong, especially on the mountain. So it'll be a good challenge for the guys that want to have something to do on Saturday night.
Well, that Gracie
just
girl
quickly
might turn up for the flying thong.
Yeah, possibly. Very nicely done.
Just
John.
quickly, a little shout out. Last weekend there was a enduro with that particular car, and I want to shout out to my teammate John O'Hill. We actually we nearly won, but we had a couple of hardware malfunctions and internet disconnects. So close yet so far, but we actually absolutely enjoyed the hell out of that car.
Hey, boys, we've enjoyed having a chat to you here as well.
Yep.
But get out of here because the Porsches are about to line up. Have a good night. Thanks for that.
Good call, guys. See ya.
Thanks, Joe.
We've progressed forward to 6 o'clock in the evening, 6 p.m. European summer time, and 19th of April 2023. Yeah, exactly. That's what 6 o'clock looks like when you observe daylight saving, Grant. Thank you for the segue. 26 degrees on track, 22 ambient, 5 km/h winds. And the grid looks like this. Matty Dench and Corey Lazarus, the front row. Shane Wright, Kai Ardley, the second row. Brenton Hobson and Samuel Spruill, the third row. Jordan Malcolm, Magnus Roney, the fourth row. Dylan Shepherd and Oscar Glissett from row 5. Row 6, Guy Leach, Gordon Ramsay. Interesting. Jared Knight, Andrew Smith, Brett Barker, Alex Schmidt, then Dean Landy, Dane Snowden, Adam Pold, and John Baldwin. Beyond that, we go back to Paul Wilson, Jeff Adams, Dale Sharp, Callum Heinrich, Sean Rees, Richard King, Matthew Brunt, then Adam Lavis, Chuck Fung Wong, and Ben Woods from row 15. 16, Greg Padgett, Jarrett Gilbert. 17, Sam Chapman, Dave Oliver. 18, Stephen Gallacher, Jamie Budd. 19, Kurt Chapman, and Robert Culbreth.
Zach, you said we go back. You're absolutely right. Look at that, all the way back to the chicane. It's a massive thing.
All the way back to the bus stop. It's fantastic. So, as the season unfolds, 4 sprint races, 4 40-minute races, 2 60-minute races as well. I'll break it all down for you as we go here throughout the course of the night. We're excited to have the Porsches back. We're pumped. Race 1 of the new season for Blackout Electrical Solutions. 40 minutes around Spa on the platforms of the GSRC. Let's go! Running star Matty Dench leads the field cleanly and comfortably to turn 1 as the rest of the field go about sorting themselves out and finding some clear real estate to play with. Lazarus, Wright, Ardley, Hobson. Can we all squeeze through here? No, not quite.
Lavis.
There's a couple in trouble. Lavis again. He's found trouble tonight, hasn't he? Or trouble's found him at this point. He cannot take a trick. Through they go. Hobson in 5th place at the moment. Watch them all very carefully skip across the chicane curbs there at La Source and Eau Rouge as they head down the back straight, the Camel Straight for the first time. Couple of slowdowns on the right-hand side of the track, left-hand side of screen. And a growing list of slowdowns there as well. Jordan Malcolm down 10. Oscar Glissett down 8. Alex Schmidt down 3. Dylan Shepherd down 21. Ben Woods down 1. Adam Lavis down 5. Chuck Fung Wong. Adam Pold is down 17. And Callum Heinrich down 13 spots. 37 of the 38 started. Matty Dench leads them away and says, catch me if you can. Already a 5-time GT3 champion, already a 5-time Porsche champion. Let's see if he can go about making up the half dozen at the end of this season, which would give him the complete dozen across Monday and now Thursday night motorsport. Now, as far as the calendar is concerned, the 40-minute races come up at Spa, the Silverstone Circuit, and Suzuka, Japan. So only 3 of those, my apologies. There are 5 sprint rounds, 4 of the 2-race regular format. Here we go.
And back. I think that might have been Callum Heinrich.
So already a couple of guys experiencing some hairy moments here. Now, it's interesting too, just as we go, the regular 2-race sprint format comes up next week, Sebring, then round 5 at the Nürburgring, round 7 at Magny-Cours, round 8 Long Beach. Yes, Long Beach, you beauty. Then the Super Sprint, the 3-race format, the Red Bull Ring in round 10. So again, Monday and Thursday night motorsport have that same commonality. The entree spends week 1 at the Red Bull Ring and the main course spends week 10 at the Red Bull Ring on grand final night. The other circuits along the way, Sebring, Circuit de la Sarthe for week 3. So that's a 60-minute race, as also is Hockenheim in week 9. And that should be us done, I think. Spa, Sebring, Circuit de la Sarthe, Silverstone, Nürburgring, Suzuka, Magny-Cours. I'm not here that week. Reasons I won't disclose. Long Beach, Hockenheim, and Red Bull Ring. That is the breakdown of the 10 weeks for you on the platforms of the GSRC on a Thursday night. Looking forward to that.
Let's see how
Eau Rouge and
Radion.
On to Radion for the second time. And now, up the Camel Straight we go.
Yeah, it's Radion bites with the first time through. You just have no idea quite where that curb is, and if it doesn't give you a slowdown, it'll launch you into the wall, as we've seen in F2 before. What's happening to Sam Chapman? Blinking out, I think. Yes. Oh, that was Sam spinning around like a record baby. We might... Matthew Dench. Why does he even come along? He's just too good for us.
I was going to say, it's an all-in split first up on a Thursday night as well. But it is multi-class racing, ladies and gentlemen. So the top end of town, those black plates with yellow numbers, that's Porsche Elite Cup. There's the separation from Grant. The yellow plates with the black numbers, that is Porsche Open Cup. And those that are yet to be given an allocation of a group, they are the red plates with the white numbers there for you. So that's the fair indication that you need, that there are a few newcomers to the Porsche Elite Cup, with thanks to Blackout Electrical Solutions this season. Now, I'll do some number crunching for you in a moment, Grant, because I know you love it when we do that.
Yeah,
we will do that for you.
Get my text ready
at the completion of the next lap.
Excellent. We might hop on board with Matty Dench as we come through Eau Rouge and Radion and just see how absolutely blind it is. We haven't got the new scan, so it doesn't have the compression taken out quite as much as the new car, the new track. But you get down there and your bum goes through the bottom of the car just about because of the compression. Oh, a little touch there, a little touch there. That's not a good way to go about it. And that is John Baldwin, who was running very, very well in the Open Cup. But Matty Dench, of course, sets the fastest lap of the race. Let's hop into his car as he comes through here. Where is Radion? Radion, there it is.
There it is. There we go. So 2:19.50. So let's round that up to 2:20 just for grins. And let's call that 3 laps every 7 minutes, and we get to 35 minutes, and that gives you 15 laps, I'm going to say, Grant. Okay. So, because 3 by 5 is 15 and 7 by 5 is 35, and just so we're covering all those bases and ticking those boxes, 3 laps every 7 minutes. That's how we're making those calculations. So throw in another 2 laps on top of that, and your pit stop, because there'll only be the one pit stop, is my understanding. So that will get you clearly and comfortably, I would imagine, to 17 laps tonight. That's the number I'm hedging my bets on, Grant.
Okay.
At 17. So we'll see how close we are.
All right, we're just talking with Jared Gilbert, and yeah, Radion's got him and won't let him go. Oh, will he get back? Oh, it just disappeared off the face of the earth. Let's see, there was John Baldwin, we saw his instant. I think there was Dave Oliver involved in that, was it? Dave Oliver's had a moment here at the bus stop. It's
At the bus stop.
oh no.
Oh, yeah,
no.
there it is. There it is.
Greg Patchett involved in that as well.
How many times? How many times did you see it?
Lots. Race control, if we had one, would be suggesting that that was an unsafe rejoin, I would think, without being too analytical.
Exactly. Oh dear. So it's all happening here at the circuit. The Spa-Francorchamps, 7 minutes gone, 3 laps gone. Matty Dench the leader, Lazarus, Wright, Ardley, Hobson. Then Rowney, Ramsey, Leach, Barker, Smith and Snadden. And there are some big movers early in the piece here. That wasn't one of them. Off the road in behind, Samuel Sproul there is Jared Knight. Back to 12th place. So +5 for Ramsey, +6 for Barker, +4 for Smith, +5 for Snadden, +6 for Wilson, +4 for Adams, +6 for Richard King, +11 for Stephen Gallacher. He's been one of the big movers thus far. +9 for Kurt Chapman, up into 28th and 37. +4 and +5 for Dave Oliver and Jamie Budd, respectively. Some big losers early in the piece here. Chuck Fung Wong and Callum Heinrich have got back out onto the racetrack, but they've spent 3 minutes in pit lane apiece. Sam Chapman, I think Sam Chapman might have fallen victim of a packet loss there, because he's just down to 37th and last, but he's not moving on my timing screen. Matty Dench is now a lap up and about to put Callum Heinrich, Jared Gilbert and Chuck Fung Wong a lap down. And at that point, that'll just about rule them out of contention for the night.
My thoughts exactly, Nick, which is why I popped on board with him, sitting very comfortably behind the 30 of Kai Ardley and doing exactly as you suggest, I should think. Looking forward to hearing how he hasn't done any laps in the car or the track for months and months, and really didn't expect to do as well as he will.
Exactly. The standard trademark 101 sales pitch from Brenton Hobson.
Yep.
And looking forward to having him in the booth for a chat at the end of the night here. So, Kai Ardley, the word we're getting through is that he's pushing and not saving.
He's
and
the car in front of 88.
That's right. There'll be a mix of these guys throughout the field. There'll be those that can save, there'll be those that can't, and there'll be those that won't bother.
Yeah, and we've always talked with Brenton how he can just take it that little bit easier, but anyone in and around him, especially those trying to stay in front of him, have to work at 102% to stay there, and there's no thought of saving some fuel at all. So we can see he's going all the way through the red light up into the shift lights there and giving it everything he's got, whereas this bloke's just meandering along, still running out through the lights as he would need to down here. Loads off the car a little bit because of big long downhill that he'll benefit up through the top of Camel Straight.
Riding on board with Hobson, in pursuit of Ardley. Roney's not too far away in 6th place either. So good little battle pack forming here. 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Early stages, 10 minutes got, geez, that went quick. 25% race distance already clocked off as we continue our coverage of Thursday Night Motorsport on the platforms of the Gentlemen's Sim Racing Club. A new home for the Porsches, thanks to Blackout Electrical Solutions. And now at the end of the back straight, that was Brett Barker being ganged up on by Samuel Sproul and also Andrew Smith, and now has to try and contend with Jared Knight coming down the inside as well, and does so. But Sproul halts 10th for the moment, Barker, Knight and Snadden.
Yeah, Sproul is one of the Blackout team drivers, so that black and silver livery, as you can see on the little graphic down the left-hand side with the features of red, looks pretty smart too. big thanks, of course, to the naming rights sponsors. Carried through from the Wednesday night to the Thursday night, Blackout Electrical. Not sure where they are. Are they Southeast Queensland, or did I hear something about them being a Kiwi mob? I'm not sure. I should have a Google on that one.
I know Astute is up here in East Brisbane.
Yeah.
So, actually, that's a fair point. Actually, Astute. Wealth and finance and a few other things that they look after, they'd be all over that money economic situation that is the daylight saving debacle. So I should have a chat with them about that. Thank you, Grant. That's just prompted me inadvertently. At 28 minutes to go, Dench Lazarus. Oh, trouble! There was a car in the weeds there, in real trouble. Oscar Glissett, I think. Yeah, he's had a monster moment, and Jared Knight too. I saw a little bit of dust being kicked up on the grass back there. Oscar Glissett's had a big moment. Jordan Malcolm's in pit lane as well. Dylan Shepherd's already been in at the end of lap 1 too. So already some pit activity, also already some cars. Walking wounded at the Sparkbreaker Shop circuit after 12.5 minutes. Here's what happened to Oscar Glissett, and watch him rejoin because he ends up on the other side of the road here in a moment. I'm just trying to work out how.
He's had a couple of incidents through there. Let's have a look if we can go back just a little further. Too much outside curb, I'm suspecting. Oh, he's already... Is that him gone? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Car in the middle of the road, coming in blind. Didn't see it.
No.
Jeez.
It's a good track for that sort of thing. There's plenty of spots. You are so much on the limit that you just can't adjust to anything that's going on. Shane Wright's got past Hobbo. So I would suggest that our mate Nick is absolutely spot on there.
So? Wouldn't be the first time that Nick's predictions have been on point.
No, he's
that's why we call him
sharp.
one of our experts.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
I think there's been some packet losses or some bit of glitching from some of these guys. Yeah, that's or maybe live timing's just struggling a bit with the. Shane Wright's showing.
No, you're right. You're 100% right, Grant. Adam Pole, Jamie Budd, Chuck Fung Wong, they're all showing down the bottom of the tree. Callum Heinrich as well. Sam Chapman's had a couple of issues there, and they're all a lap down on Matty Dench. Dave Oliver, we know he's had his troubles, but I'm thinking with Chapman and Heinrich, it was particularly glaringly obvious that they had some packet loss issues. 25.50 to go in the race, particularly Chapman, that should be noted. Dench, Lazarus, Ardley, Wright and Hobson, the top 5 at the moment, and Roney's there in close pursuit as well. Roney, Rowney, not sure. Ramsey, Leach, Smith and Sproul, the top 10. 14.5 minutes gone. Brenton Hobson in 5th place. Not often that we see the double 8 that far down the caper, let's be perfectly honest. Let's see if he can pull a trick out of the hat in terms of strategy here. As Nick said, if he's on point with saving a little bit of fuel, then maybe that might be the rubber he pulls out of the hat. Here's Adam Lavis getting relegated to 25th place.
I reckon he might be doing something very similar, probably rolling out of the throttle a long way back from the bus stop there and just letting the car slow down naturally.
Jared Knight and Dale Sharp in pit lane at the moment. Geez, hard to keep up with everything going on out here. There's so much happening. Brenton Hobson at the moment, 5th place. Wright and Ardley sitting there as well. There's like traffic just moving out of the road. Very nicely done. Dench, Lazarus, Ardley, Wright, Hobson. Across the back straight we go. Halfway through the lap, on the run home. And just updating you on Thursday Night Football. Panthers lead Rabbitohs 8-6. Rabbitohs did lead at 6-0 at one point. But Panthers, I should say, fought back and levelled it up at half time and then have scored a penalty goal in the opening 10 minutes of the second half here. So Panthers 8, Rabbitohs 6. at the moment. Thursday night football from the Core Stadium in Sydney. Remember, us on one screen, footy on the other, but make sure the sound's here. Watch the footy.
So long as we've got it to
on
yes.
mute.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
that's...
Yeah, no, it's
Well, actually, no, very nicely done, right?
Something very odd happens with my Streamlabs in that the some graphics will just have no sound on them whatsoever. So it's just as we went to the graphic in the break, and all the settings are right, everything's in the right place, but for some reason it just doesn't output it. So it's something I've got to remake that graphic, that scene, so it goes through. But some nice battling here. Oh, some lovely battling there. All sorts of lines. This is Andrew Smith, Guy Leach, and Sam Sproul. So Sproul. Oh, look at the dive down the inside of the Blackout vehicle. That's very nicely
Get
done.
it done. Yeah, very cleanly on the inside. But now the drag race down to Eau Rouge. Can they keep it together? Oh, jeez. And Sproul tucks back into 10th spot at the moment as Leach covers across. Across and covers him off. Keeps him at bay for a little bit longer, then opens the door as they head down the Camel Straight. Got a little bit too wiggly. Through Rd-1 across the curb, but unsettled the car a little bit. Down the outside goes Sproul to 9th. Got it. Job done. Now Smith's the next target.
Big long straight. It's quite substantially uphill as well. You think it after you get through Rd-1 that it flattens out, but no, it's a uphill all the way to the top, and then you start your descent back down through here and work your way back to the start line. But a big climb up that hill.
Through we go. We've got Alex Schmidt there in 13th at the moment, keeping Paul Wilson company, and they're also chasing Dane Snadden. Behind them, Dylan Shepherd, the first of those to have stopped, but he stopped on lap 1, so whether he can limp it home 16 laps from there or whether he's got another invoice to pay, we'll find out.
So Dane Snadden,
as I said, the lap prediction is 17. That's right. the prediction, Grant. 17's the number we're going for bingo tonight.
Right, yeah. But there we go in the...
If that's the case, that'll be 3 from 3, and I'll see myself out early. Thanks so very much.
In the Elite Cup, we've got Dench leading Lazarus from Ardley, Wright and Hobson. In the Open Cup, we've got Snadden, who's running in 11th place outright. He's leading Paul Wilson with Richard King, Jeff Adams, and Sean Rees having a good run in there. Sorry, Sean, you'll be off the track very shortly, I'm sure. Joe Baldwin running in 8th there. And our TBAs, for those new to Gentlemen Sim Racing Club, if you haven't raced in this join split like this, we give you one race, and then we see where your times fall in relation to the leader. And there's a cut-off of your best lap to his best lap, and also your best qualifying lap to his best qualifying lap. And if you fall within the parameters, you get assigned to the Elite Cup. And if you're outside that parameter, then, and it's probably about 1.5 seconds, you go into the Open Cup.
It's all happening at Spa. We're almost at half race distance, if you can believe that. Round 1 of the Blackout Electrical Solutions Porsche Cup. And that is Alex Schmidt under pressure now from, well, actually putting the pressure on, I should say, Paul Wilson as they head down the back straight. Now down the inside. To the inside. There goes Schmidt. Thank you very much. Paul Wilson yields. Schmidt goes through into position number 12. Top 13 yet to stop. Dylan Shepherd, the first of those two have stopped. Then Landy Adams, King, Rees, Gullicher. Then Malcolm has stopped on lap 5. I think that's a bit more in the wheelhouse of where we're going reasonable fuel numbers wise. Also, Jared Nightdale Sharp stopped on lap 6. John Baldwin has stopped on lap 9. Lap 8 for Matthew Brunt. Lap 8 also for Greg Padgett, but that was 0.10 of a second, that pit stop, so that can't be right for Greg. Kurt Chapman's off the road at the moment. Kurt Chapman is off the road. Kurt Chapman is in the wars. Callum Heinrich, the next one through in 32nd place, and just about a lap down, I would imagine. Now he is. Oscar Gossett's out of business. Adam Pold, Jamie Bard, and Chuck Fung Wong all out of business. Here comes Kai Ardley chasing Lazarus, trying to fend off Hobson. Oh, car limping on the right-hand side of the road as well. Oh, it's hard to keep up with all of it, right? This is ridiculous.
It is indeed.
Kurt
Chapman,
Chapman.
too much inside curb. Unsettled it. Round he went. Oh,
And
that'd be like a 50-cent
just
piece
touches
now.
the wall.
Yep. Then he had a few more on and offs, and that's a very dangerous place to try and get back on with cars coming through there. But he survived. So Blackout Electrical Solutions are Riverside Place, Morningside, Queensland.
Oh, there you go.
There you
All
go.
right. Something about sponsors up here at the moment.
Very
We're going
generous.
through, mate. There's a lot of people that are either ignoring what I say about the state or very supportive of what I say about the state and getting on board the club as a result. I'll take it either. It's nice to have them supporting the club. Very progressive and civilised caper that they're operating with, actually supporting this online virtual platform when we actually live up in the age of dial-up. Matthew Dench, Corey Lazarus, Guy Ardley, Brenton Hobson and Magnus Roning. The top five at the moment. Here comes Samuel Sproul down the outside. Can he get the job done this time on Andrew Smith? No. He yields for the moment.
Yeah, but Smith went very defensive. He's slow through there, but there's not two lines through here at all.
And Dane Snowden under real pressure from Alex Schmidt. Paul Wilson's in there too. Battles to left, right, and centre right now.
Oh, he's all over him.
Look at a Spa Franker shop. He did get away with it, didn't he? Absolutely.
It'd be interesting.
All over the back of him.
Be interesting to see how the tyres wear, because we've seen on many an occasion Porsches around here like to start going around backwards at Puon here. Track's only 25 degrees, and Zach, it's 10 to 7 in the evening on April the 19th. It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful late or early there in the middle of spring in Belgium. There's no doubt about that. Nice late sunset. Oh, we could do more of that up here. Especially in the summer months, not so much the winter months, but the summer months, absolutely. Oh, wait, no, sorry. We wind the clock back 112 years instead. How's your bingo card
That's
going, mate?
chock-a-block,
Can I just
mate.
check it and
Yeah,
get it
no,
up?
no.
Yeah, good, excellent.
It's
No.
just too easy these days.
Yeah.
They've got to come up with some more obscure
and-
references.
and-
Oh,
and-
round he
and
goes.
to be honest,
That's Paul Wilson.
Schmidt gains a spot as Paul Wilson goes
Why?
left of field and gathers it up and keeps Snowden at bay, but gives Schmidt a free pass. Now back to the main straight. Kyle out there under pressure from Brenton
Shane Wright's
Hobson. We're on lap
disappeared.
11. We're on
Into
lap
the pits.
11. Matty Dench just started lap 11. Shane Wright comes into the pits. That's well observed from Grant. Gordon Ramsay goes through into 6th place at the moment. Not sure if that's actual Gordon Ramsay
No,
or
it's
impersonator Gordon
Scottish-
Ramsay.
Scottish
No,
Gordon
impersonator it is. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to have him on until after midnight.
That's right. Actually, no, 9:30 would be okay. 9:30 this time of year, 10:30 during the daylight saving window. Yeah.
Kai looking really pushing hard there. That could almost be a slowdown. It'll certainly be a big incident point for him travelling through.
And you're right as well, Grant. It is bloody easy these days to fill up that bingo card. In fact, easier than it should be during this time of the year because I'm usually happier. I'm not sure what's got into me tonight, but yeah, I'm usually tame and calm at this time of the year because, you know, everything's in sync and you don't lose hours or gain hours or whatever they allegedly say you do, going back and forward. It was actually nice driving down to Bathurst recently over Easter. Down the outside, Dane Snowden under pressure here. Dylan Shepherd, Shane Wright. Shepherd trying to find his way through, but can't do so just yet. Shane Wright's there for company. Paul Wilson, Dane Snowden, Alex Schmidt. That's a good battle. That is a real good battle opening up.
It is, and Hobson still
15 minutes to go, boys.
There you go. Hobson still just tucked in behind Kai Ardley. Out in front, of course, is our mate Matt, who is running new pedals. He's got a new set of VRS pedals. I'd hate to think how much they cost, but you would hope that he's got some assistance from a sponsor because no one represents no one represents his position better than. I don't know what I'm saying, but he's bloody good at what he does. He's bloody good at what he does, and any sponsor would be very proud to be on board with Matt Tench.
No one delivers value for money for sponsors
There you
quite
go.
like Matty Dent.
That's
That's
right.
what you were trying to say.
That was.
And how true you are, because more often than not, it's. Although that being said, the only downside if you are a sponsor of M Dench is you don't get a hell of a lot of airtime.
That's what I was trying to
because
get up
he's in a different bloody postcode. He's gone.
Yeah.
You know, he's 6 seconds up the road. You don't see him because we're too absorbed or immersed within battles like this.
Yeah,
It's
couple more pitters.
keeping our holding our imagination and captivating our attention.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay and Andrew Smith jumped into the pits from there. So it'll be interesting when we see where Ardley pits and where Hobson pits. Hobson might get another lap or two out of the same tank of petrol that they started with. Corey Lazarus, of course, we haven't seen much of him either, and he is one of the Blackout Motorsport New Zealand team. That's where I thought they were from New Zealand. But he's probably from New Zealand and part of the team.
Yeah.
But he's doing a great job in there. He's last time round was 3/4 of a second slower than Matthew, but their best laps, Matt's is a 2:19.50 and his is at 2:19.69. So when the cars were fresh and new and there's plenty of grip under them, they were very close on times.
Indeed they are. And fair reflection of how competitive the field's going to be throughout the course of the season, but also a fair reflection of how well you've got to nurse the car and look after those tyres throughout the course of 40 minutes before you come in for that splash and dash. Top 8 yet to stop. Jordan Shepherd, we expect, will have another invoice to serve. Shane Wright, the first place of those two have stopped.
Oh, Ardley, a little
under pressure
wiggle there.
against Haddon at the moment. Ardley withstanding the pressure of Hobson beautifully at the moment. There aren't too many people that can withstand the pressure of the go to the club and the GSRC champion, as he was anointed back on our Racer Champions night last season. And he's done it beautifully, as Kai Ardley withstood the pressure of Hobson all race thus far.
To be fair,
Let's see what sort of, tricks Hobbo's got up his sleeve when they come to the pit lane for the pit window.
Yeah, look, I don't think... I think Hobbo's been playing a smart game there, which is entirely expected. There goes Ardley into the pits. But
5 laps to go.
If Brent was really pushing him and showing the nose and making a lunge here and there, that would have slowed down Ardley, and it would therefore slowed down Hobson as well. So he was quite happy to just run around, sipping at his tank as he went through. And
what's interesting here as well, Grant, is that Jordan Malcolm stopped on lap 5. So that must have been the critical lap in which you could get home on stopping that early in the piece. So by those numbers, takes 5 away from 17, you get 12. So Dench and Lazarus are stretching the friendship at the fuel tank just a little bit there, potentially, and going to 13. Hobson as well, so too Roney and Leach. There we go. Dave Dench revealing some closed house secrets at the moment. But Matty Dench might have shared his setup with one other driver tonight. One other driver. There's about 35 more that would like an insight into that, actually, just quietly.
Thanks, Dave.
There are a fair few retirements thus far. Jared Knight, Matty Brunt, Oscar Glissett, Adam Pole, Jamie Budd, and also... Chuck Young. Trouble on the Camel's Straight.
Ardley just out of the pits.
Ardley
That's
rejoining the race under all sorts of pressure.
Andrew Smith.
Ramsey, Sproul, and also Smith as well. Smith gets through, and that's big for Ardley because he needed to stay in front of Smith.
That was a pucker.
Needed to stay in front of Smith and did not. Oh no, trouble on the exit as well.
Shane
More
Wright.
trouble.
Is it Shane?
Cars going round left, right, and centre in the closing stages here. Wright's in the grass now. Oh boy, and Jordan Malcolm was there too. This is not good. Have a look at this. This was Schmidt coming through. Eau Rouge and Radion.
And this will catch the other boys up, I think.
Bang. See you later. Did well not to smash the Armco on the concrete there. Now gets back up to speed. Let's follow this because I get the feeling.
I think it's something else. This is Shane Wright in the slow in, slow out. He's trying to make a move through there. They'll just come together because that guy had no clue that he was there. But he was very slow.
Dench and Lazarus in. Dench and Lazarus in.
And Hobson.
No surprise there. The threshold is 13. Rowney and Leach should also follow, you would imagine. Here
Rowney,
they come.
Leach.
Here we go. The field is cleansed. Inside the final 10 minutes, Matty Dench gets back out onto the racetrack. An 8-second stop. Thanks for coming. Now, that's the start of lap 14 for Denchy. Now, 9 minutes to go. No, we're right. Yeah, back yourself, Caven. 17 laps is where we're going tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Not by much either. There won't be too much in the way of overtime here in that 41st minute. Lazarus Hobson. Hobson now, thanks to the shortcomings that Ardley's endured in that run out of pit lane on that outlap, will now enjoy third place on his lonesome and has cleared Roney as well. And Roney has cleared Ardley. Ardley's 2.8 off Roney. Now, the difference here is Dench stopped for 8 seconds, Lazarus 10.3, Hobson 9.4, Roney 7.8, Ardley 18.95.
Wonder if he
Not sure
took
what that's all
tyres.
about.
Wonder if he's taking
Potentially.
tyres.
That now is why he's made a rod for his own back here and ended up in that garbage with Sproul, Leach, Ramsey, etc. and Smith last time by. And Smith now has fallen outside of that battle down to 10th place. Jeez, plenty happening out there at the moment. Dylan Shepherd had to come in for an invoice second stop. Yeah, and has dropped down to 11th now as well. So let's have a look at Ardley's stop again. And let's see what that's all about, please.
No, he hasn't popped it up, so just a long, slow stop. Too much fuel, perhaps.
Quite possibly so. Not realising that it's a 40-minute race, maybe fueling for 60, I don't know.
Yeah. And therefore maybe a little bit heavier than some of these other cars. But out in front, Matthew Dench, 13.25 seconds, 13.1. Corey Lazarus then has 3.3 back to Brent and Hobson. So we'll keep an eye on that gap and see if Hobson can do anything about that and make up some time. But in here, we still have this Ardley, Sproul, Leach, Ramsey battle for 5th through 8th. And that's a pretty good close company those boys are keeping.
7 minutes to go. So a minute ago we ticked past 80% race distance for 4/5. We're now on our run home. Of course, 5 laps make 40, so there's the multiples there. Dench, Lazarus, Hobson, Roney, Ardley up a series from Sproul, Leach, Ramsey. You get the feeling this is going to be the battle to watch for the next 7 minutes. Round onto the main straight. Dench is on his run home. 3 laps to go for M. Dench. Circuit Spa-Francorchamps. Lapping last time around 2:36.98. So those lap times will be around that 2:20 threshold for the next short while. And we'll get an indication next time by the line as to how close to the numbers, how close to the mark I am with regards to calculation and how close to that 40-minute mark we're going to be when that checkered flag flies. Ardley under pressure now. Sproul to the outside. Sproul with the run. Sproul with the momentum. Who's going to be the deepest under the brakes here? Who's going to be bravest under brakes at the end of the Camel Straight? Ardley needs to go deep to try and withstand the pressure of Sproul. Sproul holds on around the outside. Come on the inside. Ardley then gets bumped out, and here comes Leach as well. Can't get it done. Can Leach get the up and under? The run down to the next corner. Ardley moves across to cover it off. Ardley does well to hold on to 6 for the moment, but Sproul has got through and breathes clear air. Oh, very nicely done.
And well done by Ardley. That's one of those situations where you can get out a little bit out of rhythm and then just find yourself dropping back and back and back and just can't get yourself back onto that line of the track that you want and brake where you want. It's very easy to lose 3 or 4 spots in something like that. And Ramsey's Leach is all over him.
And he'll somewhat already be agitated, Kai Ardley, by the fact that... Oh, there it is! That was the thing! Ardley on the outside! We'll have the inside running for the next corner, but has he lost out? No, he's going to hold on here. Round the outside goes Leach. Ardley on the inside, and look at Ramsey wanting a piece of it as well! Up the outside comes round! Oh, Leach got hung out to dry! Leach got elbowed! Ardley... Oh, racing to save his life, you'd almost say, here at the moment. Jeez, he's withstanding some pressure. He's under the pump tenfold here with Ramsey and Leach, and all of that has allowed Sproul to scoop clear. Down the inside, Ramsey! No, not going to get it done. Ardley back to the main straight. How long can he withstand such pressure for? The defence has been fantastic thus far. Ramsey and Leach, have a look at it again. That was Leach. There's the moment down the inside. Wait for it, because when they got up here, another couple of corners, there was a little bit of an elbow, I thought. Wait for it. 3, 2, 1. There it is. Bang. A little bit wide.
Excuse me,
A little bit
sir.
of gamesmanship there. Exactly right. A little bit of SMSing.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that's my line. On my turn, I'll take it. There we go. Now down the camel straight again.
Ramsey
to the outside.
Oh, and we know
And
Ardley.
they're bumping and grinding.
We know Ardley doesn't mind getting his shoulders,
Leach
elbows
goes
out.
too deep and across the grass. Leach has rubbed out of it. It's a race in 2 for 6th at the moment.
Yeah, we know on past performances Ardley can be pretty feisty in his defence and his attack. I was about to say he's showing a real maturity that probably wasn't evident 12 or 18 months ago. Ramsey just drifting wide out on the AstroTurf there, but no, to credit to him, he's had everyone wanting a piece of him. He's like a chip at the beach. The seagulls are all having a go.
Here's the other point. Let's keep an eye on Matty Dench. There should be Barney not in position, waving a white flag this time by. That prick never stands in his flagpole, in his flag post here. No, we're past 9:30. I can get away with it. It's 9:29. I can get away with it. Round onto the main straight, and you look at where Barney's waving the flag from. The last lap flag, the white flag is in the air. We've got one to go. It's not in his flag marshal's post and stand, is it? It's in with the crowd. Have a look at him. He's on the right hand side there.
He is.
Just on an excursion.
Oh, he's just doing.
If we take the camera at turn 1, looking back up the main straight, you'll see him in no man's land.
Oh dear.
Dench, Lazarus, Hobson, Roney, Sproul, Ardley, Ramsey, Leach, Malcolm, Smith and Shepherd. See, I told you it all goes down on a Thursday night. But dead set, go and have a look at the main straight if we can. Kai's on 17. There we go.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of insight from Josh Ardley.
So Josh is agreeing with me, I think. Yeah.
Dad, uncle, or brother, one of the three. But yeah, 100%. And that's the thing. When you come in and play with guys that are, twice, 3 times your age in some instances, but they've got that maturity on board, it's a big test to your temperament, to your pressure, to how you handle yourself up
absolutely.
against guys that have that experience on you, and not just sim experience, but life experience as well. So,
who of us
hat
will-
off to Kai Ardley because
Yeah.
he's doing a nice job.
Who of us will forget the TCR incidents with Cook and Rayhana? And,
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
There was all sorts going on there. So exactly to my point, Josh, is he's showing a maturity which is great to see for a young bloke who was probably 15 or 16 at the time. And there was quite a bit of upset, I think, on Proud Dad. Good on you, Josh. There's quite a bit of animosity there over a number of weeks, and now he's just knuckled down. He's probably developed his racecraft as well, and he's still not going to give it to you easy.
Absolutely not. Proud Dad. Yeah, exactly right. Good on you, Josh. Thank you, mate, for clarifying that for us. Hey, speaking of proud, just 12.5 seconds up the road, Team Dench is about to celebrate once more because Matty Dench is into the last corner, onto the main straight to take the checkered flag. Chalk up another win in the Blackout Electrical Solutions Porsche League Cup for Matty Dench. Gets the job done at Spa again. There's Barney. Have a look at him.
There he is.
In with the bloody
Yeah.
grandstand. He may as well be in the 14th row of the grandstand. He's just out on an excursion. Just wave the flag anywhere. Jeez. Lazarus in for second. Hobbo gets third. That was looking like fifth early in the piece, not for the shortcomings of Ardley, and also I think it might have been Shane
Right. I think
Right,
that was,
yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, it was wrong right tonight, down in 23rd. See what I did there?
Yeah, very clever, very
Dave
clever.
Oliver and Brett Barker, by the way, no stops. They're going to
Wow.
get through,
No
potentially.
way.
No stops. Brett Barker and Shane Wright have not stopped.
That's amazing.
Sorry. Brett Barker and Dave Oliver, I should say. They're limping home to the checkered flag now. Dave and Brett Barker have not stopped. It's been a 0-stop run for those guys. Did it actually work in their favour? We'll find out in a few moments. The fact that they're 21st and their 22nd might not suggest it, but Dave's up 13 spots. Brett's down 7. So for Dave, you could say well played. For Brett, unfortunately, it's a case of what might have been, but they're going to get home without having stopped, and they've done it by fuel saving every step of the way. Well done, boys. Now, last turn checkered flag.
That is Dave
Barker's
Oliver.
pipped Oliver at the post. So Barker -6 and Oliver +12. Oliver chug-a-lugging across the line. Oh, no.
Willie. Look at it coughing and spluttering.
Oh.
And it's like an asthmatic in a smoker's ward. Oh, look at him go.
Shane Wright pipped Dave Oliver at the post and got 22nd. Oliver 23rd and out of gas. Well and truly, Ben Woods, Dale Sharp, John Baldwin, Greg Padgett. How about that? Dench, Lazarus, Hobson, Roney, Sproul, Ardley, Ramsey, Leach, Smith, Malcolm, the top 10. Dylan Shepherd, 11th. Case of what might have been there, considering the extra pit stop. Wilson, Snowden, Landy, Schmidt, Adams, Rees, King, and Gallacher, with Adam Lavis making up the top 20. About time something went right for him tonight. Jeez. Had more hits than Elvis.
He was second in the TBA column.
Be interesting to see what that puts him outright in terms of whether he goes on those numbers. But he doesn't normally get to dabble in the Porsches because he's normally been broadcasting.
Right.
So it's nice to see him getting to have a play. In a car that wouldn't be terribly familiar to him as a result. Outside the top 20, Brett Barker, Shane Wright, Dave Oliver, Ben Woods, Dale Sharp, John Baldwin, Greg Padgett, Sam Chapman, Jared Gilbert, Callum Heinrich, and Kurt Chapman. On you what I was trying to say. Jared Knight, one of the retirements, so too Matty Brun, Oscar Glissett, Adam Pold, Jamie Budd, and Chuck Fung Wong. Well, there you go. Hendo's in race control. I don't envy him. It was relatively clean tonight, but not without its moments. Matty Dench, Corey Lazarus, and Brenton Hobson, the top 3. In fact, actually, Hendo might be in there serving penance for some of the garbage that we saw in the Mazda MX-5 production car race earlier in the piece. We'll find out more very sure. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Matty Dench towers them up again. 12.6 seconds, the winning margin. You shouldn't be surprised by any of that. And then Hobson, Roney, Sproul, Ardley, Ramsey, Leach, Smith, and Malcolm. Top 10, 11, in fact, all the pros split. And also in amongst all of that, the first of the open splits in Paul Wilson down there as well. Now, apologies there. I've just lost my feed here momentarily. I'm right. I've lost the Discord menu, that's all. Kevin Henderson standing by to have a chat to us. Good evening to you, mate. Nice to have you on board. And welcome to a new season.
Yeah, good evening, Zach, Grant.
Hello,
yeah,
mate.
Thanks, Bot. It's
Now, just before we let you go any further, Hendo, are you actually here serving penance for some of the garbage that we saw in the Mazdas, or are you here on your own accord?
I'm here to my own accord.
Oh, okay, lovely.
I don't think I did anything too bad in the Mazdas, did I?
Oh, no. I just wasn't sure if the stewards report had come through yet, or if they were still going over the tape, or whatever the case may be. But we know that you were out there and in amongst having a lovely time.
Yeah, I was having a lot of fun there, but that second race I got sort of turned around and had to tow, and it sort of ruined the race for me. But never mind, that's the way it goes. Just on tonight, I only handed out one penalty. A couple of net codes in. There was a couple of net codes in there, and a couple of incidents that were no further action. So, although it may have looked a bit hairy out there, most of it was pretty well behaved, really.
Just for the benefit of Adam and Grant, who have control over who can come and go as they please, every time I'm dragging some channel, the Discord menu is having a wobbly, so I might leave that to you guys for the moment and let you sort out who can come and go. And on that note, we'll throw it around the room. Hendo, I'm very impressed that you only handed out one penalty. That's a good reflection of the driving standards out there tonight. Netcode can't be helped. We've seen that on a few occasions. We saw a couple of people fall victim of packet loss. It was just one of those nights where the internet gods didn't want to play ball.
Yeah, no, yeah, there was a couple of like close net codes there. There's nothing you can do about it, is there? It's just the way it is. Racing online, but no, apart from that, the driving standards were really rather good. A couple of the other incidents that people got involved in were their own doing, really.
You must be missing your Formula Vs.
I certainly am. I'm struggling and everything else.
Yeah, no, you and me both. It's almost a black armband, mate, actually. Good on you, Hendo. Have a great weekend, mate. Look forward to seeing you on Monday night.
No, I'm going to be away for a couple of rounds, but
so everyone's getting long service leave except me. What's going on here, please?
going away. It's the wife's birthday, so we're going away for a while.
Well, Zach, maybe when you're as old as myself and Hendo,
you
might have a better chance.
Yeah, apparently you're only young once, but geez, you've got to work to get to the old stages, don't you? Very nice. Well, many happy returns to the bride then, mate, and enjoy that, and we'll see you when you come back.
Yes, you will. And it's well past my bedtime now. I've got to go.
Good on you, Hendo.
Hendo.
Nurse will be round
with... It's only 9:30.
Nurse will be around with medication and a blanket soon.
Hot water bottle.
Listen to you two. Brilliant. Get out of here, Hendo. Go and have a great night, mate. Thanks for that.
Good night, guys.
See you, mate.
Where do we go from that? Maybe to some youthful exuberance. Hello, Brenton Hobson. Nice to have you back.
You must not be planning on talking to me if you want youthful exuberance.
We'll take whatever exuberance you've got on offer, mate.
And by the way, can I just say, 3 from 3 for your bingo card tonight as well, Grant. 9, 14, and 17 with the lucky numbers you're looking for there, I do believe.
There you go.
Yeah, no.
The ejaculations are spot on.
Yeah, exactly. So 1 from 1 on a Thursday night this season. But we didn't want to underplay it, Hobbo. I've been saying to Grant for a few weeks, maths isn't the strong point. He reckons I'm playing a Brenton Hobson card because you quite often undersell your own expertise and your own potential and capability. What do you make of the Porsche tonight, please, mate? Started 5th, ended up 3rd, so at least you moved forward, but you had to work hard.
Yeah, it was a learning experience for me out there tonight. So I haven't driven these cars
go.
since the last time I raced them
Bingo.
in this league. So you tell me when that was. I think it was about the season that they came out. So
I was going to say, it has been a while between drinks for you, Hobbo. It has been a while since we've seen you, mate. So it is nice to have you back in the Porsches. And it's weird, too, because like we're now adapting to Porsches being on a Thursday night. But obviously, if it means that star power like yourself comes back to the table, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, well, I don't often do things on a Thursday night. So I thought I'd come in and have a go. Like, I love the idea of this car. Like, it's a car that is appealing to me. Like, it looks cool. It sounds good. I just hate how the thing drives. But I have been told that it's changed a little bit since I last drove it all that time ago. So I thought the opportunity was here. I might come and steer a few laps. And I certainly struggled tonight with getting a bit of a feel for it. But in the end, it was not too bad. The last few laps there, I started to be able to sort of lean on it a bit and predict what it might do and read the car a bit. So it came to me a little bit eventually, but it was a struggle tonight.
That being said, young Kai Ardley withstood the pressure that you were applying quite consummately, I thought. Unfortunately, something's gone awry in his pit stop, and you were able to pip him. But the other incident there was for Shane Wright. That was the only way that you found your way through. I didn't see you execute too much in the way of overtaking tonight.
No, well, at the start, we know Matt here is on a different planet, so we don't need to worry about him. And the pace looked like I straight away identified that maybe we could race for 3rd tonight. So I'll let those two go in front of me, and I was just saving fuel basically. And yeah, when Kai got through, I thought he might have been able to drive away, so I was a little bit worried and thought I might need to get racy. But then in the end, they sort of were able to all sort of stick together, and I just got lucky, like you say. They had a couple of mishaps along the way, and I was a little disappointed. I saved so much fuel just cruising around that I actually slid through my box in my pit stop. I should have come out right around P2 there for a good race at the end. So I was a little disappointed by that, but the undercut was on there with the fuel, and Would have been I think a good race for P2 in the end, but wasn't to be.
The one mistake you made all night, Hobbo, and A, not only did we not see it, but B, it seems like it only cost you the opportunity of racing Corey Lazarus, because by that point, third was never in any sort of doubt.
Yeah, that's right. It was a bit disappointing actually. Like I was just looking forward to a good fight, but I wasn't sure. I was expecting to make some gains on the two guys I was around, and hope that maybe I'd be somewhere near enough to P2 to mount a bit of a challenge. We're only 6 seconds back or something, so I was hoping I might be close enough to get in the draft, and I probably would have been. But I had a pro supercar driver moment, and I slid through the box and panicked. And I went to my shifter to try and get reverse, and it's on me paddle, and it was just a complete mess. It was a complete mess in the end, but I'm glad that you replay it. Thanks. I appreciate the replay on that.
Well,
well done, Grant. No, that's exactly right. We did not see this live, so let's just have a look at this now. Hobbo sliding in. There it is.
Somewhere in there, there's panic.
No. Oh, brilliant. It happens to the best of them, as they say.
But you know, you look at you and you look cool as a cucumber. Look at that. No stress at all.
I'm glad you're not looking at my webcam because my eyeballs just about touched my screen. But the it was all happening there for a minute. I don't know how much that cost me, but you know, like a second or something like that might have been the difference to grab the toe there in the last lap or so and have a bit of a crack. But either way, it is what it is. I had a clean race. That's all I really wanted tonight.
Actually, if I remember rightly, Hobbo, and again, history and maths not my strong points here, but I believe that you've treated Radion with respect this time round because I seem to remember a GT3 outing where it went belly up on the last lap. Was that the case with you?
Oh, your memory might be better than mine. I've had a few moments at that corner, so it's probably a thing. But
was it a Porsche race? I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
There was regularly a little anxious lift at the bottom of Eau Rouge. Just settled the car so it wasn't squirming. That I noticed on the broadcast. So you were treating it with respect.
Yeah, you can get flat through there. If you were riding on board with Denchi, I'm sure he was ripping every single lap. But I wasn't quite that brave, and I had a few major moments in there regardless. But if you get it just right, it's you can sort of get through there pretty much flat.
Yeah, the consequence is pretty high for not quite making it, isn't it?
It is, and I mean, I learnt in the warm-up session. What I learnt initially was that I was trying to drive the car way too fast. So as soon as you do get into a bit of a slide or whatnot, the tyres just don't grip up. And if you get into a big moment in a high-speed section like that, you're going to die. So
and they don't come back for a good number of laps as well.
That's right. Yeah. So you just got to take it easy and just manage it a little bit. I don't expect to be quick enough to run at the front, so I'm quite happy just to take it a little easy in a couple of spots just to try and get to the end.
Well done, sir.
And yeah, absolutely. Mate, terrific to have you back. Grant might throw the calendar up on the screen there for you. I'm going to rattle some tracks off in your direction, Brenton Hobson, and you tell me what you think as far as the Porsche is concerned going forward. Sebring, Circuit de la Sarthe, the famed Le Mans circuit, the Grand Prix configuration of Silverstone, the Nürburgring, Suzuka, Magny-Cours, Long Beach, Hockenheim, and the Red Bull Ring. What do you make of that for an eclectic mix of Grand Prix circuits and the like for the rest of the season?
It's got a very like a Euro GP sort of type feel about it. Sebring sounds pretty good. Outside of that, there's not a lot that's going on for me. So, there's not too much on that calendar that looks particularly appealing to my wheelhouse. I'm much more of a stop-starty. So I love American tracks and things like that usually, but the Euro GP stuff doesn't really sit inside my comfort zone too well. But neither does the car. I mean, I'm not committing to coming and running the full series. I'll come and maybe have a dip here and there and see how we go. I might do next week and see how that goes and take it from there. But as far as calendars go for me personally, that doesn't overly excite me. But I think for the car though, it's probably actually pretty good, to be honest. I mean, they're the sort of tracks these cars race on in real life, so I think it's pretty well suited to the car. It's just not tailor-made to me, that's all.
Well, Long Beach is certainly a very stoppy-starty, exactly as you said, American-style street circuit. So perhaps we'll see you back for that one.
Long Beach is pretty good. It's of the street courses, it's probably one of the smoother ones, like Detroit and Chicago and places like that. They're really dangerous, especially cars as stiff as this. I think Long Beach will be bad enough, but that one might not be too bad as well. But I mean, like I said, very European flavour, and I've just called out perhaps the only 2 non-European tracks on the calendar that I like the most. So
There you go.
what does that tell you?
True to form. You weren't fibbing this time.
Yeah, no. Grant's keeping tabs on your efforts, Mr. Hobson. He's always quick to jump in there. Now, yeah, great calendar. Sebring, of course, you won't see Nick Fodiatis with an earshot of that. Circuit de la South is the first of the 60-minute races. We've got sprint racing to look forward to at 5 rounds throughout the course of the season. It's a very good-looking calendar, and Grand Prix circuits, Spa, Silverstone, the Nürburgring, Suzuka, Magny-Cours, Hockenheim, and the Red Bull Ring. It's a really good-looking calendar if you like your Grand Prix European-style circuits. What else has been keeping you great, man? We believe you've been dabbling in the upper of pro elite supercar competition once more, which, let's be perfectly honest, if this was supercars, it'd probably be you giving Matty Dench the lesson, not him the other way around. But how are you finding everything in supercar land in racing world at the moment, please?
Don't undersell old Denchy. He goes all right in a supercar, but yeah, you're right. I've spent most of my time wheeling around in those things lately, which is, like you say, it's sort of where I spend most of my time anyway. But I've been doing some stuff in the dirt, been doing a few bits and pieces where I can, but I'm finding at the minute that life is pretty busy between the few bits and pieces I've got on and work and family. So I'm not getting as much time out on the track as I'd like to. I never used to practice much anyway, but I feel like I'm getting even less than usual in that area too. So pretty limited track time, to be honest. But it's all good fun. That's what it's about. This is what we do. Just come and enjoy it. So
absolutely.
I figured Porsches might be a nice change. Come and have a run back here with you guys. It's been far too long.
Excellent. We're very pleased to have you.
Have you back, mate. 100%. You're welcome anytime, especially when you come and add a certain level of class to the post-race show. We certainly enjoy that, with no disrespect to anybody else, of course. But, mate, stay there for me if you can. If you can't, I fully understand, but it's great to have you on board. Let's bring in Matty Dench on that note. Also, Jordan Malcolm as well. Might start with you, Jordan. Not the easiest night at the office, but started 7th, finished up 10th, but at least you brought the thing home.
Yeah, mate, pace was there. Excluding Dench, it probably wasn't too far off the main pack.
About you blokes and saying excluding Dench, just forget about him. Is he in a different postcode or something? What's going on?
Yeah, something like that. It's something like he's constantly half a second to a second faster than everyone on lap, or something like that. But yeah, we weren't too far off the main pack there, so pace wasn't bad. Just racecraft on my end was pretty ordinary. After lap 3 was down in the mid-20s position-wise with 13x, so survived till the pit window opened. And how'd you find it all, mate? I mean, Porsche's a bit of a step up from the GT4. Stranger to the Porsche, let's be perfectly honest. It helps when you can keep it clean and on the racetrack. That's, also part of the puzzle here, as we just saw a moment there coming into the bus stop on replay. How is driver and car well suited, or is this going to be a work in progress for you? It's a work in progress. It was a last-minute decision to join after work. Just put Spotify on, just chill out, have a race with the boys, see what happens, and then we might take it a little bit more seriously because the pace there wasn't too bad. So
now I want to raise the elephant in the room. It's a bit controversial, but I was reading the Haribo green gummy bear is actually strawberry flavoured. What's going on there?
I don't know anything about the gummy bears. I just like the paint. So.
Oh, that fell flat. Zach didn't even get a raise out of Zach.
No. Zach's actually getting a raise out of something else at the moment.
Get off that site.
No. Let's not beat the drum too soon, Grant Gill. No, I'm a little bit distracted at the moment because South Sydney have pipped Thursday night football out of the Penrith Panthers' hands at the post. a late try in the piece there, 20-18 full time. Rabbitohs over Panthers. That's what was catching my attention. But yeah, it's a fairly good point about the Bears on the bonnet there. I'll pay that. Where's Winnie when you need it? Very nicely done. Now, what else has been happening in your world, Jordan? It's been a while since we've had a chance to catch up with you, mates. How did you spend the Easter break and regroup ahead of term 2 here?
Easter break was spent at 3 nights of Speedway with 2 of them washed out.
Nice.
It's typical.
Okay, it sounded like a nice idea at the time until the weather came in. Yeah.
Yeah, typical Victoria, you know. So luckily at Warrnambool you got your grandstand seats, so you know, just dip to the car and then come back and, you know, just bring a towel with you, clean your seat off and you'll dry again. Unfortunately, that was a late night, but and cold one as well. GT4 went pretty ordinary. I just drove like a muppet and called it a day pretty early. Just, yeah. And then GT3, yeah, GT3, exactly right. GT3, I decided to hop in and surprised myself with the pace in the Ford in the Pro-Am split, but yeah, that was certainly surprising to do what I did.
I'll just go back to the Bears for one moment here as well, and just point out the obvious, and that is that couldn't be a better colour. I like the yellow. That's a nice bit of attention to detail. Very, very nicely done. You'll see it again in a moment there. Now, how are you feeling? We heard Hobbo's thoughts on the calendar. Jordan, what are your thoughts on that if you decide to commit to the Porsche throughout the rest of the season?
Well, the F1 tracks don't really suit me, the really high-speed ones, so a bit the same as Hobbo there. But Sebring, I guess I'll look through to. I just need a little bit of practice. Lamar, I think I'll be right. And then it just gets into a bunch of tracks I don't really like until the very end there.
So I guess that adds a degree of difficulty to the challenge, isn't it? Not only you're trying to get to grips with the car, but then you're also dealing with circuits that aren't exactly to your liking, to your style.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, it's all fun and games. There'll be another season where, you know, maybe the calendar will suit me. So I know that it's the same in GT4. I didn't really like this schedule last season, but this season it's looking pretty good. So.
Although you might not be the right person to ask, but I'm going to ask you anyway. With regards to what Jordan's saying there, the only way you can, I guess, challenge yourself and grow as a sim racer, be it competitive or otherwise, is by occasionally taking up the challenge of, okay, this car's not necessarily working for me, but if I persevere with it, but then also the same can be said for racetracks as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're never going to be able to race at tracks you like every week. So,
that's true.
You know, that's just the way it is. And everyone's got personal favourites and tendencies for one reason or another. But, you know, I think that there's more to be said about succeeding on the tracks that you don't like than the ones that you do, to be honest. And I do enjoy that challenge as well, separately to, you know, to just turning up and running at stuff that you're comfortable on all the time. It's good to try and test yourself and figure out how to go better on a track that you don't like and, you know, you don't necessarily run well at. So there's that element to it as well, but it's always a little bit harder to be motivated when you look at the schedule and go, no, not this place, you know. But yeah, there's different things to take from it. It just depends.
Well, Zach, it's
right,
just a clear sign that Abraham Lincoln was right. You can please some of the people some of the time, can't you?
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. Somebody that needs no introduction and is usually happier and pleased no matter what we dish up in his direction, unless it's, I think Fuji was one that we didn't see him for, and maybe Coda as well, I might be right in saying. Matty Dench, good evening to you. First up, well done. Great race, great win, and a comfortable one as well. Didn't have it all your own way too early at the piece there, but slowly but surely that gap gradually built and ballooned out.
Yeah, Corey done really well to stick with us at the start there. And, yeah, we just managed to, I think he made a little mistake and had a bit of a slide, and we just sort of crept away, and he sort of chipped back at me, and then I'd chip a little bit more of a gap, and yeah, we just sort of slowly over time, we just sort of drove away a bit, but yeah.
Matt, could you just slide your microphone in front of your mouth just a little bit more? You're a wee bit quiet.
It doesn't get any closer to my mouth than this.
There you go.
No,
That's better
no.
already.
Well, that might therefore mean that we need to actually encourage him to just talk a little bit louder than Grant. That's the case. I mean, the microphone can only work with the volume being projected into it. Some people, particularly in my industry, need to get that memo as well. And that is a direct dig at some commentators, and they know who they are. Let's go back to you though, Denchi. Nice to have you on board, mate. I mean, number one's on the car for the GT3. That started beautifully on Monday night. Number one on a Thursday night. The move to from Wednesday to Thursday hasn't phased you one iota. How are you feeling about the calendar ahead and the potential of chalking up the half dozen in both categories by the end of the season?
Yeah, I think the calendar looks really good. The only track I'm not super fast on is Le Mans, but yeah, that's still know my way around there. It's just not a big fan of the huge long straightaways, but it should be some pretty entertaining driving for these cars for sure.
That right there, Grant. That's Denchi doing his best Hobbo impersonation right there. Pull the other one, Denchi. It plays Jingle Bells. You still not nabbed a podium, if I'm not mistaken, in the GT3 outing there, despite not being terribly fast.
Well, that's why I said I know my way around there. I just don't like the track, you know.
Right. Well, it's a bit different this time round though, because as you know, last time round GT3, different manufacturers, different handling, different cars, all that sort of stuff. But now one make racing, so that evens the playing field somewhat.
Yeah, the draft is like really strong in these. Like you get draft from like 1.3, 1.4, so it'll be really difficult to actually pull away and run. So.
There you go, Hobbo. There's your opportunity to go with them, Dench, and a Porsche in a couple of weeks' time. Le Mans.
I enjoy the fact that he says he knows his way around. It's the only track that's got no corners. You're right, though. He is right, though. Like, it's got lots of straights, and it'll be pretty hard to pull away. Although, he'll be half a second quicker in every chicane. He'll figure it out. You're right.
The banter's rife on a Thursday night, isn't it? It's fantastic. I was going to say, Denchi, these 40-minute races, I mean, they're a little bit different to the 60-minute races. I know that we've had races in Porsches in the past. We know that you've had a checkered history with sprint races, but these 40-minute races seem to suit you well.
Yeah, 40-minute races, it's basically the same as like the official GT3 races. They go for 20 minutes or 40 minutes, so it's pretty comfortable with that sort of time frame.
All right, very nicely done. There's the championship standings for everybody to have a look at as we rock and roll here. M. Danch on top, 63. Lazarus, 55. 49 for Hobson and 45 for Roney. And the open split, Paul Wilson won that tonight over Dane Snadden, Dean Landy, Jeff Adams and Sean Rees, which means Adam Lavis is in the house and might be able to explain himself, because there's already memos going out about those TB C drivers, Adam, being appointed to a league, whether it be or to a class, be it the elite split or the open split. How'd that go, please?
Pretty much everyone went to open.
Pretty much everyone went to okay. Fair enough. That's good. Hey, what about your night? You don't chance to dabble in these Porsches. How'd you find that?
Yeah, I'm sort of on the Hobbo fence. Like, their car looks fun on TV, but they just feel weird and alien when you're driving those. So don't do what you want them to do. And so it took me a while to get my head around that. And it still felt uncomfortable. And I looked at lap times. I'm doing times that are okay now, so it's not that bad. But yeah, I'm not sure if I dropped out at the start of the race or not. But basically, I got spun and drove through like I wasn't even there. So that wasn't fun. But then my internet was playing up, so I may have not been there. I haven't gone back and looked yet, but. That wasn't fun, but just a bit of a fight back through the race, trying to get used to the car and see how we go. First time I've had a chance, because normally I'm doing the broadcast on Wednesdays for these things. So
exactly.
Other than the odd practice round, I haven't really had much time to try these. So it's a bit of a learning curve.
Yep, sounds like it. And I don't think I should even bother asking about the Mazdas.
Oh, that was just a pinball. Everyone ganged up.
Oh no. All right, mate. Thank you for that. Very nicely done. Jordan, while I've got you, Monday night, Montreal for T4. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be. The McLaren, surprisingly, is not great in a straight line. It barely kept up with the little Porsche. So, even though it looks good on paper, for the car. Just the bop it's got. It's not going to be fun.
Interesting
I
insight
chose the
from you,
McLaren. It
Grant.
didn't feel good.
Grant, you had a dabble in the GT4 the other night, did you not?
I did, and the 3, yeah. And I'd concur with Jordan. I could never make it go as fast as he could anyway, but I thought I'll give it a run this time through, and it was a pleasant afternoon or pleasant evening getting around the Red Bull ring, but yeah, I think it's the wrong car. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, very nicely done. And Hobbo, I saw their, I don't know, earlier, because again, I was getting distracted by the football rider screen here, but I believe you've been an integral part in some dealings with Motorsport Australia on the sim racing front, am I right?
Yeah, a little bit. We've been doing some bits and pieces with another league that I'm a part of on a Wednesday night. So in the world of supercars and bits and pieces. So it's been really cool. It's been very exciting, and it's a cool thing for me to be able to apply some of my skills to what I think is a pretty cool bit of kit over there on a Wednesday night. So yeah, moving forward, I mean, sim racing, we all do it for fun, but some people do it to be competitive, and
yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
And there is a growing sort of area for that. And Australia, I think in general, in esports, not just sim racing, but just in esports in general, really lacks in that area of the world. So what we're looking at doing over there is really just trying to press into that elite sort of mains esports sort of area of sim racing. So having some stuff with Motorsport Australia over there is really cool and a step in the right direction for all that.
All right, very nicely done. And obviously, supercars remains your. As far as the sim racing circles are concerned, we know that there's the Scop stuff. We know that there's the Speed Cafe stuff. We know that there's the Motorsport Australia stuff. But it is nice that you come back and visit little old GSRC from time to time, mate. Looking forward to hopefully seeing you come and defend your Race of Champions crown later on in the year as well. And has Pete Matson been in your ear about coming and representing us in the challenge against the Australasian Supercar E-Series boys in a couple of weeks?
No, I haven't heard anything about that, but I probably will now that you've said it. But
yep.
Yes.
Just making sure.
I'd forgotten about the what is it called? The Race of Champions. Oh, the Race of Champions. Yes. Need to be back for that. Oh,
agreed.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't clash with something, because that was good fun last time.
Certainly was. You towed it up. And that's, of course, we're looking forward to the Interclub Challenge Showdown. Sunday, May 7, start time around 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Grant Gill and I with you for that one as well. So we're doing overtime that week, Grant, and hopefully you appreciate it in similar fashion. To add there, Grant, or have I covered all the boxes? It feels a little bit weird to be done this early.
No, look, it'll be my guest to show us out the door. We'll run through. We've had a good old chat. Did we miss anyone? No, we've had Jordan.
No, we had a very small post-race attendance here tonight, I must say. Nice of Adam Lavis on by. Always good to have Brenton Hobson in the house. Denchy just keeps doing Denchy things. Everyone treats you like you're in a different postcode, Denchy. So I'm thinking we need to have just Class Dench, and then GT Pro Am and M, and then Porsche Elite, Porsche Open, etc. and so forth. How do you feel about that?
I mean, if you just want to keep handing me titles and put me in my own class, go ahead.
Well, I don't think it matters anyway. I think you're going to take the title, but that's stranger things have happened.
We need a bigger graphic. Denchy, how are the pedals?
We need a bigger boat.
Yeah, are you feeling on top of the pedals, or still working your way into them?
Yeah, really good. I've got the 100% brake pressure set to pretty much the same as what I was used to, so it's just a matter of getting a feel for the lighter pressures. But yeah, really, really comfortable. Feels natural. It's really good.
Excellent.
Hey, Hobbo.
Yeah, go, Zach.
Yes.
Just before Grant finishes with Denchy there, if you want to give yourself a proper challenge, come and do what Denchy did last season. Turns up, and this is not to give Jordan Malcolm bad flashbacks and nightmares, but Jordan's part of a huge GT4 field. In waltzes the superstar in week 3, so he's given everybody a 2-leg head start. wins 7 of the next 8, and wins the title. And that was with non-starting. I think it was week 9. So he just waltzed in, went bang bang, hit all the boxes, cleaned up, checked out, GT4 champion. So do you reckon you'd be up for a challenge of that sort of ilk?
Look, we're not all as good as Matty Dench, all right? Let's just not get ourselves too excited.
Is your
we
nose
need to move the Dench.
Is your nose growing?
I want to see you two in a Formula Ford, actually, somewhere down the line. I reckon that'd be.
Well, that might be Race of Champions, Zach. You never know.
That might be absolutely. Actually, how good? Actually, Formula. So here's your Race of Champions this year. Right, okay. This will give a few people at the club nightmares. Mazda MX-5, Formula V, Formula 4. I reckon they're the.
You're talking multi-class?
No. Well, actually, there's an idea. I like the sound of that all of a sudden. Jesus. No, definitely. I don't know if you could get away with having the open wheels out there with the tin tops at the same time. But anyway, but no, certainly something to consider because have been well received. The Toyota 86s have been well received. We have a love of one-make racing, don't we, in this club?
Well, we're still waiting for the 3-wheeled shopping trolley to be brought into iRacing, so maybe when that comes out, we'll get the boys to run that around and still be quicker than the rest of us.
Exactly right. Still waiting. Have they launched Formula E in the server yet? No, probably too. It wouldn't be for the broadcast. All right, I think we're done. Very nicely done, Hobbo. Well done. Sorry, you were actually saying with Denchi before I jumped in.
No, I think we'd covered the pedals. As my only point was, it's nice when you spend some hard earned on a new piece of kit that it lives up to your expectations. Yeah. And he agrees.
Maybe we should make him like run them inverted or something, like the travel back to front or something to slow him down.
Well, we've talked about.
I've already suggested a ton of success ballast, and I mean an actual ton.
Is that the metric one? Or yeah.
That's the metric one. Yeah.
The other discussion was put him in a Ford GTO or whatever it is for the GT3s, and he'll be the only one in it, and we can put ballast on that one. But
it goes well.
I know.
I was going to say, and you would know, would you not? Because you used to have a run in that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did at Detroit as well, and got a 20. I think what was it, 27
flat. You matched Matt's just about.
That was in Pro-Am, wasn't it, Jordan?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Didn't get the promotion, so still in Pro-Am.
There you go.
Yeah,
maybe we need to reconsider that after that time.
You must have had a really bad quali.
Something like that, yeah, or just not used to the track yet.
So you don't get moved until you're done at least 2 rounds of the season. So I got some data points, just in case it was a one-off.
Probably was.
Right, well, we can have a look when we get to GT3 on Monday night whether it was a hit or a miss. Now, interesting to get your insights there, gentlemen. I would hazard a guess that if we could see Denchi in the Ford over a 10-week campaign, we'd get a true indication into either how good Denchi is or how rubbish the car is, or both. That could be the great equaliser of GT3 on a Monday night. Thank you, Brenton Hobson. Thank you, Jordan Malcolm. Thank you, Matthew Dench. Thank you, Adam Lavis. Well done, boy.
Silence.
Let's have a look ahead. Yeah, no, silence. Silence is golden at this time of the night. Let's have a look ahead for you and say thank you to all these great people that support the platforms of the Gentlemen's Sim Racing Club before we do. Waste Options. Blackout Electrical Solutions. Login Systems. West Orange Motors. Hello, Dave, mate. Astute. Finance, Insurance and Wealth in East Brisbane, and being in East Brisbane, they'd understand the ramifications Wealth had on Wealth by not observing daylight saving. But anyway, I've said enough about that tonight. Fisher and Doyle Lawyer.
Are you sure?
And also, I'm not sure, no. And of course, Flash Graphics as well. Before we look ahead, Grant, I'm pumped to be back on a Thursday night. We've had a lot of fun here. A great night out, a lot of fun. I think the production cars, that's going to be really interesting to see who adapts to the different cars in the different weeks and that test of versatility. We know that someone like Brenton Hobson's very versatile. We know someone like Matty Dench is very versatile, but they're not playing in that pond at the moment. So not yet, but it'll be very interesting to see how that goes throughout the course of the season. And not much, as much as I have to say, I didn't see much of the Porsche racing last season. Not much has changed. It's still M-Dench doing M-Dench things.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And hopefully we can find someone who can give him a good run. But I think Ardley was looking good tonight. Brenton, of course, once he turns up a few more times and gets a better feel for the car. And who was it in there as well? Corey Lazarus was having a good run. He finished up pretty well. And the other boys, or anyone in that top 10, I think they're all lifting their game a bit.
That's a fair point too. I think well done to Kai Ardley. Okay, sure, the pit stop didn't necessarily fire on all cylinders the way that everyone else's did, because he lost about 10 seconds there. But to get out in the heat of battle, in the thick of it, right in the thick of it, and withstand the pressure again all the way to the finish line, props to that young man there. And his dad was very proud too. Let's have a look ahead at what's coming your way on the platforms of the GSRC. It's season 13. It'll be lucky for somebody, as I've said all throughout the course of the week. Week 1 of Term 2 for 2023. Done and dusted. Here's what the rest of it looks like for you in a non-broadcast sense. Tomorrow night, Donington Park for the USF 2000s. For the Wings and Slicks. That's 8:15 p.m. Yes, it will be. Great. April 21, Australian Eastern Standard Time. It'll be April 20. Actually, no, it won't. Not any. I can't even. It will be April 21.
Move on.
It'll be April 20 somewhere, I was going to say. Maybe I'm not. There's anywhere that's that far behind us, actually. 8:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Race 1, 15 minutes. Race 2, 25, and a full reverse grid for that second race.
See, USF 2000 this season, so that should be a bit of fun.
Which will be good. The Nissan GTP ZXT, yep, the Alphabet Nissan. Saturday night for the Mountain Men Series from Mount Panorama, 32 laps, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday night back with you. Looking forward to this. Immensely Waste Options GT4 from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in the Ile Notre Dame, and that's, of course, coming up 7:25. We're on air with you Monday night. And then by the GT3 Series from Imola, and that's the first of the 60-minute races for the season, again, for Waste Options. And again, it's the Pro Split being featured in the broadcast on Monday night. Tuesday night, the up-and-comers.
I started writing down Autodroma Enzo. I went, no, Imola.
Right, yeah, Margaret, Imola. Yeah, exactly.
We know where we're going.
Same thing. Tuesday night, the GSRC up-and-comers. Not sure where we're racing, but we're running the racing Tuesday night, 7:55 Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday night,
the way Dave's running the up-and-comers, the track gets announced on a Sunday or a Saturday afternoon. I think prevents anyone doing a massive amount of racing or practice on there to level that playing field a bit. But that's why each week it'll be TBA.
Exactly. GSRC Formula Ford 1600s from Barber. Here we go. On Wednesday night. So, of course, remembering Tuesday night's Anzac Day as well. Wednesday, April 26th. Barber Motorsport Park first up for the Formula Fords. 3 sprint races there, 7:30 Eastern. And then that's followed by the Supercars. There's Brenton Hobson's wheelhouse. Red Bull Ring, 8:45 p.m. for a 40-minute race there. Thursday night, we're back with you, Grant Gill and I. Thursday night bingo and motorsport all rolled in one. And the Production Car Challenge first up from the Hockenheim Ring and the TCRs. That's 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that'll be followed by the Sebring International Raceway. 2 sprint races there at the Porsche Elite Cup with thanks to Blackout Electrical Solutions. So my thanks to Grant Gill for his work throughout the course of the evening, to the plethora of drivers after the production cars, and also the 3 that jumped in after the Porsches, for coming in to have a chat with us. Our thanks to you at home for your company. Hope you enjoyed week 1 of term 2 for 2023. We're over and done and out as far as broadcast is concerned, but as you saw there, there's still plenty to look forward to club capacity, broadcast capacity from Monday night. You saw GSRC Championship advertised there a few moments ago. That is, of course, continuing April 30 from the Red Bull Ring, so looking forward to that. 6 hours there, then 4 hours from Road Atlanta, and then 8 hours from Bathurst to round out the campaign. They've already ticked off Kota and Zandvoort. And, of course, GSRCmerch.myshopify.com if you want to sink your teeth into any of the available merchandise that the club has to offer.
Or memberships.
It's available for you to purchase, or if you want to sign up and join the club and get in on the action as well. That's it from us. We're done. Matty Dench doing Matty Dench things in the Porsche Elite Cup. You shouldn't be surprised. I hope you enjoyed the night of racing from the Red Bull Ring and Spa, our European swing. Looking forward to Monday night and some action from Canada first up and Italy second up. Until then, on behalf of Grant Gill and the entire GSRC cast commentary and production team here, I'm Zach Caden bidding you a very good night. Have a great weekend, everybody. And, of course, get out and support plenty of great local sport happening in your local regions right around Australia. And if not, sit on the couch and enjoy plenty of great sport on offer on the telly, because at that time of the year where there's too much, not enough actually as far as I'm concerned, but plenty to choose from. No shortage of offerings there for your enjoyment. On behalf of the crew, we'll see you Monday for the start of week 2 on the eve of Anzac Day. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye for now.